But there's two opening acts. The show starts at 7, but there's two opening acts. So like we get done here at what 5, 4, 6:30. We're not gonna go racing to the venue,
Yeah, you're not bothered about these support acts then.
Well, there is one called Frontline Assembly that I actually like, but I don't know too much of their music, so it's like, if I don't see them, if I don't see all of their show, it's like okay. It's crazy though because they're the same guys who do Delirium, which is some of my favorite music, and I would love for them to do a Delirium show, but
Yeah.
they probably won't because it's an industrial metal show.
Well, guess what, Duke? I've missed out big time.
What's that?
Orbital are touring, recreating the green. They're doing, but listen, they're doing the Green album live. That's what they're doing. The first album they ever released.
See, that's the thing. When I heard Ministry was performing, I went and looked up the set list because I'm like, yeah, but they're probably doing all new stuff. And I looked at the set list; it's all classics. I'm like, yes,
that's what you want.
Finally, I want to hear. It is what you want. It's like Homer Simpson said. Here, wait.
I'm ready, by the way.
Well, hang on, I'm not. All right, there we go.
Finding a Homer Simpson reference. Here we go.
Yeah, it's like when he went to see Bachman Turner Overdrive.
We're going to play all your.
That's us.
That
Yeah.
I've been to see Depeche Mode twice, and both times they had a new album out, and I'm just like, and you can see the audience; they all sit down, when they play something no one knows.
Yeah.
Everyone's just like,
Of course, Otto's always sitting down at concerts. Sit down. You're ruining it for everyone.
Yeah.
Let's start the motherfucking show, bitch.
Here we go, people. Come on.
Welcome, yo, to the Veteran Gamers.
Yeah.
Jimmy out of Fellas will tell you about it. Playing this week. News, reviews, and an indie pick. Stu story time and Chinny's game breakers. Here comes Duke with soundbite saviors. It's the Veteran Gamers. It's the Veteran Gamers. It's the Veteran Gamers. It's the Veteran Gamers.
Why doesn't my life always work out perfectly?
Yeah, boy.
Stu, you are wrong.
Switch that console off before you have to press repeat, yo.
Why doesn't my life always work out perfectly?
Hello and welcome to episode 740 of the Veteran Gamers podcast.
Yeah, 740, baby. I'm Duke.
I'm Stu.
And I'm Chinny.
Yeah,
He's feeling better. Listen to that voice, so
Hello.
rich and full of life.
Hi.
Oh, yeah.
This is me.
Hi, everybody.
Here we go.
We are a video game podcast. We are not military veterans. We're veterans of the gaming lifestyle. So suck old bub if you came to here to talk about military stuff.
And we stream live.
Yeah.
My story is I was not feeling better. Now I do. End of story. That's how quick we are.
Alright.
That's how quick we are on these stories. It's an efficient show tonight.
My
Efficient
story. I
show.
feel like I had a story, but I can't remember
Can I
what it
just
was. Go ahead.
say, I've had something happen to me this week, which I haven't had happen for 5 years.
I don't know.
It's time for a story. It's time for a story. A very special story, especially for you.
I don't know about
Five
I don't
years.
know about your sex life, Stu. I don't know.
Can you guess?
I do.
Can you guess?
That's why I came here. Sex life, something to do with your sex life?
No, nothing to do with my sex life.
Speaking of sex, though, we watched Poor Things. That's a good movie.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
there's a lot of sex in that, apparently.
That added
Yeah,
a
there
lot.
is.
Something that happened to you that happened to 5 years.
Yep.
Sex noises in.
Duke, really, honestly, I don't know.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
it.
I know
Go
I'm
ahead.
feeling better, but
I
I
was
don't.
giving you time to think.
Yeah, but that doesn't help. It doesn't help
Do
at all.
you know, Chinny?
Sure, it does.
I've just looked at the stats. We had 5 new listeners 5 minutes ago, and now they've
Yeah,
gone.
now we got 7 lost.
Gone.
I can't think of anything, Stu, that would
We
be.
lost more than the gain. We've lost
I
more than we
I,
gained.
I can't think of anything that would be funny to say or actually a serious guess. So I'm
Sex
out.
life.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
I've had a cold. I've had a cold.
Oh,
wow,
yeah,
that's
Mr.
exciting.
Mr. Never gets ill.
I
If
know.
what you doing
What?
getting ill? If you're
The
ill, you're a
fuck?
big fucking loser. That's what you
Oh,
Was
say.
it man flu? Do you have a little man flu?
No,
Did you
no,
get
I
man
wasn't.
flu?
I've not been playing it up. On Friday at work, right? I got
I'm
into
just
work.
going to spend 10 minutes talking about
Yeah.
it.
No,
now, but
I
I
got
haven't
to
been
work on
playing it up.
Friday, and I was like, My nose is itching a bit. I kept sneezing every now and again. I'm like, what's going on here?
Only Stu could tell a story about catching a
fuck's
cold and
this?
drag it out
What the
for
fuck's
5
this?
minutes.
And
My
then
nose. What?
I spent, I'm no word of a lie, I spent the rest of the day constantly blowing my massive hooter because I have got a big nose. And so much so, it started bleeding on one side because I've blown it so much.
That's gross. And I've had that happen. That's worrying,
Oh.
man. Whenever that happens to me, I'm just like, oh, God, I got to stop.
It doesn't help. It doesn't help. One of my tablets makes my nose run anyway. But
Oh,
that
jeez.
combined with an actual cold, it was fucking horrific. Thankfully, tonight it's not too bad. It's mostly gone.
Oh, thank God.
So it only lasted
I'm glad to
3
hear that.
days, thank God.
When people say to me,
I'm
"Hey,
glad you're feeling
hay
better.
fever isn't that bad," I'm like, I have 3 days of non-stop wanting to rip my face off.
Oh, it's awful, isn't it? It's
Yes.
awful.
Yeah.
And on Friday, it felt like someone had stuffed my head with cotton wool.
Oh yeah.
You know, that horrible, like, ugh.
Ah.
Yeah, but I'm feeling a lot better, so that's all good news. Everything's
glad to hear it.
good.
Yeah,
Feeling better
I'm feeling
now.
better too.
Yeah, why? Have you been ill?
No, I'm
Oh.
feeling fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
Better
that's
than
good
I
then.
was
And
when
I'm
I was
feeling
sick a
fine.
while ago.
We're all
And
feeling
Ginny's there.
fine.
We're all feeling fine.
Ginny's no longer got a
yeah.
pregnant belly.
Honestly. Oh, also,
Yeah.
can I just say that I have sent out most of the merch this
Woo!
week.
Get you.
Oh, yeah.
What the hell?
There are only two. There are only 2 left to do, but I ran out of time because I had to go to a 5-year-old's birthday party. My little niece Talia.
Ooh,
Um,
okay.
And Rosa loved it. She just fucking. At some point, I'm like, I have no idea where my child is, and I look towards Tara, and I'm like, she hasn't got my child. Then I look towards the immediate
Oh,
family,
no.
and I'm like, well, they don't have my child.
Well, she can't
And then-
walk. Where did
And
she
then,
go?
and then I thought, oh
She
no,
went running
no,
away.
no, she's got my child. I know her. Then I look around and go, no, that's not my baby. That's a different baby. Where is my
Oh, that's
baby?
racist.
And then, well, I think, yeah, I was probably the only white person
was
at this
doing it-
party.
hey,
So yeah, I
hey,
suppose.
Yeah, because you looked at a black baby, you were like, "Oh, that's my
Yeah,
baby." No
yeah,
way,
He
yeah.
was
it's
doing
not my
this.
baby.
He was doing this. Rosa,
Yeah.
Rosa,
Rosa.
Rosa,
And then just some like
Rosa.
random. It was my brother-in-law's girlfriend's random partner's girlfriend had my baby. I was like, okay, that's fine. That's absolutely fine.
Okay.
And then another little child called Dylan came up to me and said, "We're going to steal your baby." And I went, "Okay, that's
You gotta
fine."
watch out, man, because someone could take your baby. If Rosa's adorable, she would fetch a
she would.
lot of money
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the
she'd be worth
illicit
hot
baby market.
cash. Yeah.
Illicit baby.
right.
Right. Yeah, so can I just say only certain people will get that joke I just did? Just saying.
What's your name, Duke?
Here, I can play this now.
Another reference by Duke that no one understands.
Yeah. Right.
Except it's
You,
we-
what, did you not get the joke?
I didn't
Did
hear
you
it.
seriously
I didn't
not get
hear
it?
the joke.
I was. Oh, for God's sake, you two are just.
This is what.
crap.
No, Stu. This is what it's like for me all the time. I'm spitting out
Yeah,
bars.
exactly. This is
No,
what I, now you're
you should have
experiencing what
definitely
I
got-
experience all
I
the
didn't
time.
hear
You
it.
should have
You
gotten that joke. The
You should have
problem,
definitely
the point is, you gotta just let it
Stu,
go, dude.
I didn't hear it. It's not about
There was
getting it.
There was a joke, right? Because I said Chinny was going Rosa, Rosa.
We got the joke. It's
Rosa.
heavy rain.
Exactly. You just said you didn't get it.
No, I said I didn't
Well,
hear
there's
it.
a difference between not hearing it, getting the joke, and not laughing at the joke.
No, like I
Yeah,
got
well,
when you
that's
did
what
that, I
happened
was
here.
like, yeah, like heavy rain. I got it. I got it.
Oh, that's
Right, you
fine
should have
then,
fallen
just
out of your
checking.
chair laughing, Chinny.
Yeah, you should have done. What's the matter with you?
Well, it just, I mean, it was okay. You
It
know,
was a
if,
funny
if
joke.
you,
It
if
was
you
a
had,
good joke.
It was a polite chuckle joke.
if you had added the fact that I kept on seeing a square prompt with the name Rosa hovering
Yeah,
the
it's-
road.
yeah,
well, maybe
or
yeah,
like there's a
but-
balloon you're tracking down, or
Stu,
Rosa
but
got hit
that's-
by a car.
If you
Too
want
much
to call
information.
Stu,
Then it
if
would've
you
been
want to call me
hilarious.
in the week and ask me how you can improve your jokes day to day,
I
you're
will.
welcome
Maybe
to.
you
I'll
could
do
have said
that.
Rosa got killed by a car, and then Chinny's other kid
Yeah.
got kidnapped by
That
a
would have
serial
been
killer. That would've
way
been
funnier.
hilarious.
Yeah.
We would've just
No
done
one would have
that.
been on a downer on
Any
that
other
one.
stories? Are we done with
I
stories?
think so.
The whole point of the joke, it was subtle. It was
Where are
meant to
you
be subtle.
going?
Story time's over, isn't it?
You been playing?
If a joke's supposed to be subtle, you can't follow it up with, "Oh, you didn't get a joke. You didn't get a joke. What's wrong with you?"
I've got a name for the show. It's called Stu Makes a Joke.
No, it's called Stu makes a very subtle joke.
Makes a joke.
Yeah, that you two didn't get.
I don't know if this counts as a subtle joke though. Rosa.
I got it, but I moved
but
on.
I know
people-
that's why it's not.
But I
subtle. A
moved on
subtle
very
joke often
quickly.
gets missed.
No.
Right. Whatever.
But
Speaking
unless-
of moving on
unless
quickly.
you played the heavy rain, You're not gonna get the joke, are you?
No, but what I'm saying is I moved on quickly. I got
Now
the
we've
joke.
all-
I
yes,
understood
but now
it.
we've all had a good chortle at the joke, and it's great. And now we're moving on. Okay, who
Hey,
wants to start? This
imagine, right? If I walked around the party and I went, Rosa, like it.
You
like
should have just done that. That would have been funny.
That would have been funny. Anyway, what the
and
fuck?
everybody at the party would have fallen down laughing because they've all played Heavy
No,
Rain. They're
nobody
smart
would have
people.
played Heavy Rain.
I said to my brother-in-law, I
'Cause
said,
it's a dumb game.
imagine if there was a square and it said Rosa and it was going round. Where you going? Where you going? Come back, please. Right, games.
Yeah.
We're fucking. This is a
Alright,
serious
games.
show, Stu. This is a serious.
I know, totally
Yeah,
serious.
no joking now.
You know what
No
I mean? We
jokes.
can't be
No
fucking around.
joking.
No
Right.
jokes.
All right, I'm going first since y'all are just not talking.
You talk over the
I played
bloody
some more
intro,
Guild
the
Wars 2.
jingles. Go on, sorry, Guild
I know.
Guild Wars. Yeah, go on.
And
Guild
he's
Wars 2,
playing
nothing
them.
new to say about
He
it.
knows when they're
Rust?
coming.
What? I'm gonna do a behind the curtain here for the listeners, right? Duke has got like a new section on his notes where it's a bullet point that says nothing new to talk about, and then still lists a bunch of games.
But I list them
Yeah, yeah.
because
I
people
know, I
need to
know,
know that
yeah.
I'm playing
Yeah,
these
yeah,
games.
yeah,
If
I
we're out
appreciate
there
it.
Playing Rust.
I appreciate
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
exactly.
But there's no. Also, I didn't finish my sentence. I need to still send out T-shirts to Ricey and Rainy Lamb. So there they are.
Okay, so those people need to
Close, it's
listen up and
close.
shove it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, go.
So Guild Wars 2, Rust, Delivery Inc. I played more Delivery Inc. That game's fun.
That's the Uber game,
but
isn't
y'all
it?
hated on it.
Yeah,
No, I
it is.
didn't. No, I like it. I like it.
Oh yes, you did. It looks like an Uber app. Why would you play?
No, but we make jokes. That's what we do. We make jokes. It's a serious
I know,
show.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just, right. It's serious. Yeah. But there is something new to say about Rocket League.
Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah. There's a new season of Rocket League.
Oh god.
God, what shit wheels did you get this time?
No, it wasn't shit wheels. It was a shit decal for your car. And get
Brilliant.
this, it's the kind of decal that responds to the music you're playing, as long as you're playing it through the game itself and
Right.
not playing it on like Spotify or something, which nobody does. So fuck off.
Yeah.
Well, how
yeah,
does it
it's
react?
so
What does
shit.
it do? What does it actually
Well, it just
do?
goes boom, 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 boom.
Oh,
boom,
right, to the beat of the
beat.
music. Oh,
Yeah,
for God's
exactly.
sake.
It's a fucking oscilloscope on your car, basically. That's colored according to your. There's a video if you scroll down. Yeah, it's stupid. You
Oh, it's
can
a
put it
video?
on loop though.
Oh, right, okay.
You went too far.
Does it,
yes.
does it actually
Yes.
show it got beating away?
It does. If you hit
Wow.
play on the video, then it'll do the
okay.
thing.
Yeah.
But it's really not even worth it because it's just like 4 seconds. But
Oh,
it's
I
so
see.
stupid.
Woo.
Like, yeah, it's so dumb. Like when I saw those revealed, I was like, really?
Yeah, but like the
And, like,
ideas.
it's so funny because.
The ideas in the Rocket League development studio must be pretty. They must be asking like
Well,
the
that's what the
fucking
Duchess
cleaner.
said. She's like, how many years have they been
Yeah,
doing
they
it?
must be-
It
Yeah,
must be
can
so
you
hard to come
imagine?
up with
They must be
something.
going,
Excuse
yo,
me, love.
yeah,
Love.
excuse me, love. Debbie, come here. Have you got any ideas for skins? What about one of those bloody ones where that keeps music with the music and bouncing?
You know what's funny?
Yeah,
though?
that's fine.
That should be the reaction that we're having is the reaction everybody should have. But when I went to look for a video on YouTube, because I know it's easier to use YouTube on your end, Chinny, every video is like the people, oh my God, this is amazing. And it's like, no, it's not. Stop creating videos that are
Yeah.
so excited about it.
Let me put a suggestion to you, Duke, and see if you think it would be
Go ahead.
better or worse than this as a
Like,
a
it's like
reward.
prize picks. Bet more, bet less.
What if, right, when you score a goal, your car does that thing like air suspension that you used to get in the 80s and 90s?
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
when the car bumped up and down and stuff at the back
I
and
like
front.
Well, that would be cool. Except usually when you score, the goal explodes, and so you're in midair. So there's really no way to do the goal explosion or the bouncing
What
hydraulics.
if it just did
However,
it whilst you were driving?
well, yeah, but nobody would see it. So
Of course,
the
you
point
wouldn't see your
is,
car going up and down and shit.
no, because you're always in motion, and so are they. No one's looking at each other's cars when they're playing the game. However, at the end of the round, when you win,
Yeah.
that's when it would be cool because
Yeah,
then
that'd
everyone
be
looks
cool.
at the winner's team's cars. and it would be
Exactly.
awesome to have some
What
bouncing
I-
hydraulics on there.
Yeah,
I
like
think-
pimped.
Agreed.
If the development studio are going right, you know, look, have you got an idea? When it comes to me, I think I would say I'd be like, you know, when you go bowling and you have those bowling animations, and
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
like really long drawn and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
When you score a goal, right? You should like, and there should be a puff of cloud, and then in that puff of cloud, should be a really elaborate fucking 2-minute animation of like the rocket, like the rocket car ascending to heaven, or scoring a goal.
Do you not know what happens when you score a goal in Rocket League, Chinny?
Yeah, the goal explodes, doesn't it?
But it's more than that now. They've got goal explosions of every variety. Like they basically are doing what
No, but
you're
I'm
mentioning.
saying, look, you go into the cloud and then a whole animation plays out.
Yeah.
Okay,
like
well,
a cutscene.
they don't have that. But
And
they
it
do
really
have, like,
slows down the
I
whole
have-
pace of the game.
Well, that
Yeah,
would be stupid
yeah.
because if people don't want the pace slowed down. But
course
I
they
have
do.
one where when I score a goal, it has this heart that shows up, and then this anime robot's like,
Oh.
and like everyone's like, God.
All right, fine.
What
If
about
it
this?
came
What
to
about
me,
this?
if it came to me, I'll just say, why don't you just put a dick in the
Yeah,
goal?
exactly.
Just put a dick in it.
I've got
It's a
another
game for
one. What
children,
about
Shane.
this? What about this, Duke? Right? When you
I hope
score
everyone's
a
taking
goal,
notes. Send it to Psionics. Yes.
when you score a goal, everybody else's on the opposite team's cars blow up. What about
Well,
that?
they don't have. Actually, they do kind of have that. They have one
Ooh.
where it creates a black hole and your car gets sucked into it. So not only did someone score on you, but you can't control your car because it's getting sucked into the black hole and then it disappears.
See, I would go a step extra,
They're
and then
kind of doing
you'd
that.
see the other end of the black hole, and you end up in Cornwall. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And those cars are just like, oh, we're in Cornwall now. What do we do?
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Ugh, Cornwall. Blah.
Nobody wants to go
All
to
right,
Cornwall.
another game I've been playing because there's not much to say about Rocket League.
Well, apparently
I
there
played
is.
a game called.
Yeah.
Well, I just said it, and then we're done.
Yeah.
Please Touch the Art 2.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is the second game apparently. I never played.
that
any
some
outside
sort of
Please Touch
euphemism?
the Art 1. No, it is not. Nor is it a euphemism, but whatever.
Euphemism.
Well, you knew what I meant.
I knew what you meant. I'm
But
just
did you
being
mean what you say?
Yeah, exactly.
anyway.
I don't know.
So Please Touch the Art 2 is a game where you are a skeleton in a suit.
That's my favourite genre, by the
And-
way. Being a skeleton in a
skeleton
suit.
in a suit.
I
totally,
love
I'm
the
with you.
skeleton in a suit genre.
And you walk around paintings. Now, I don't recognize any of the paintings in this game, but I'm going to guess that they're from a famous painter, maybe. In fact, I'm going to look as we speak. Please Touch the Art 2 to see if I can find.
Oh
any
yeah, that's a
information
famous
about...
paint. The boy in the boat. That's a famous one. I reckon.
Is it really?
Yeah, I've seen
No,
that.
it doesn't.
Oh yeah, that's famous.
Yeah, I know that one. Yeah, I'm always at
Yeah,
art galleries.
yeah.
Anyway, yes. Oh wait, is this the whole game is free? Really? Okay. Yeah. So I mean, I went looking. There's something about free. Anyway, so the point is that it's 100% free. Wow, how about that?
This is
yeah,
a show where we
so-
just listen to Duke browse the internet.
I don't go. Ooh, it's
Well, apparently the
100%
first one is about
free.
modern art, so that's pretty cool. Oh, this is all James Ensor. How about that?
Oh yeah, of course.
I'm a big
James.
fan.
Yeah,
well,
me and
James
Jimmy,
Ensor, I
we
know
go back
because of They
years.
Might Be Giants. They had a song called "Meet James Ensor, Belgium's famous painter."
My two
Anyway,
favourite things
this-
are James Ensor and skeletons in suits.
touching art.
I love
Touching
it.
Yeah,
art.
exactly.
Yeah, I love
So,
it.
what is the game, Duke? I hear you asking. Well, and if you're not looking at the stream, here's the game. You walk around these paintings, and there's people who are thinking about things, and you have to find the things they're thinking about. So, one guy's thinking about sticks, and you have to go around and find all the sticks.
I'm always
And some of
thinking
them are
about
hidden. Yeah. So, like the leg of a table, when you knock the table over, then the stick shows up as one of the legs of the table. Elsewhere, there's sticks like in the ocean or whatever.
You're walking around the art, I think is worth saying.
You're walking
Do you know what I mean?
around
You're not walking
inside the
around a platform like
paintings,
you're
exactly.
walking inside the
Right.
actual art.
Exactly. And sometimes you have to repair paintings. So there's like this tape you have to put around a shape, and you have to make sure you do it all in one go. So it's not a very deep game. It was made by one person in 6 months, apparently. Yeah.
Six
That's-
months.
I was just going to say, I thought he was going to say like 6 weeks or 6 days.
Did he do
or
it with his
something.
feet?
Well, you make a
6
game then and
months.
see how.
Did he have a
fast you can put up
computer
a-
or was he using a ZX Spectrum?
What was
I mean,
he
what
doing?
are you
Was he
using?
doing it as a blind challenge or something? Did he have his eyes closed?
Holy
God
shit.
damn, I thought I was going to be too harsh on this game. Y'all are just
6
being nasty.
months.
It looks like, I'm not being funny, right? I'm looking at this. It's just a disguised hidden object game, isn't it? That's
It
what
is a
this
hidden object game. That's exactly what it is.
It's like,
But
let's
it's not
do-
just a hidden object game because in addition to repairing art, you're also finding the differences between two pictures at times. So there's a beach.
Well,
scene
just a
here.
minute. So you said it's
Find all
also
this.
spot the
Whoa.
difference.
It is spot the difference. Yep.
Holy
No,
crap!
now I can see where the
I
6
got to
months
this part
comes
and I was
from.
like, all right, you know what?
But
Yeah,
just to be
right.
fair, right, he'll have got these off like free domains or something where there's no
No,
copyright.
this
or
is
whatever.
James Ensor paintings.
Yeah, but there's probably someone done a
He
spot
had to
the
adjust
difference,
them.
and he just
well,
got that.
maybe I don't know. Anyway, this person got fed up with it and just started clicking randomly.
everyone. Yeah.
I'm not
So
surprised. It
anyway.
looks that boring. That's what I'd probably do myself, to be honest. In fact, right,
Well,
if you wanted
it's-
to make this game more interesting, it should have used a skeleton's middle finger. That's what I think.
Yeah, well, hey, I didn't say it was a good game. In fact, I didn't really enjoy it, but I did have something to talk about.
But you
so,
played it,
done.
and now
Well,
we're
you-
talking about it.
You experienced it.
I did experience.
Well, if there's something that I can take away that I like about the game, it's the skeleton in the suit. I like that.
Yeah,
I like
he
him.
is
He,
cool
he
looking
looks
guy.
dapper.
he does look
He is
dapper,
dapper,
even though
yes.
he's no color. He's very
Yeah, I
black
like
and
him.
white.
I like him.
You know
so
what
if
I
you
mean?
like hunting
There's
for
no
cats
grey.
that are hard
There's
to
no
see up
grey.
against a
Yeah.
painting background, check out.
Oh no,
Please
he's
touch
just
the
cut
artwork
the
too.
painting. The dirty little bastard.
Yeah, see, now you got to fix it. See, it's like a
Oh.
mystery too. You probably
Dun,
find
dun,
this guy
dun,
eventually, and cut him up.
Anyway, fuck
Yeah,
that game.
well,
Brilliant.
hopefully not. Wow,
Right.
that sounds a bit.
Yeah, Stu, you're up.
Well, do you know what? As you've been talking about
Do you
weird
know
games,
what?
I think I'll
Yes.
talk about a really weird game.
It
I
is a
played.
shit game.
So I played a game called Slay the Princess.
Oh no! I've just clicked on it and I've just had a thumbnail of what this is, and I hate it already.
Is this a parody of Slay the Spire?
Fuck
No, do you know? You might think that. You might think that, but
I do
no.
think that.
No,
You might
and
be.
I actually, again, can I just say, I paid full price for this.
Oh my god! This video is called
much was full
"Why
price?
Why Slay the Princess is a genuine masterpiece."
Oh yeah,
Wow.
I'll be honest.
An
I'm
ironic
not.
title.
I'm not quite seeing that just yet. Having played it for
All right, what kind
about
of game is it,
an hour and
first
a
of
half.
all?
It's a visual novel. Is probably the best way to describe
stop.
it.
Stop. Done.
It's all hand drawn in pencil, which I've got to say looks fucking.
I don't mind
cool.
that.
It's really well drawn, and really well
I mean,
animated.
it's using the pencil tool in a digital art
Yeah, yeah.
app, but anyway.
And it's fucking weirdest horror game I think I've ever played. So
Okay.
it's kind of interesting though. Do you know what? I'll give it 10 out of 10 for being interesting. So
Is
the
that why
point
we're
of the-
rating games now? If it's interesting,
Yeah, oh, it's very interesting. So the game begins with a narrator who tells you that you have to go and slay a princess, right? That's kind of
Okay.
the upshot. Always starts the same. And the reason he tells you have to slay the princess, because if you don't, she'll end the world. So the world will end unless you slay the princess.
why is she just going to end the world?
Don't know. That's what you've got to try and find out. You've got to try and find out what the what is what. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
So you basically find all those like questions like that. You can ask that question. You say, why do I have to slay her? You know, why can't you just do it?
Right.
Or why is she locked up in this like basement or whatever? Or why is she doing this? Or why is she doing that? It's all fully voice acted. Really good voice acting, by the way. And it's interesting because as you play the game, even though it's like a time loop, but not a time loop, it says, you develop different parts of your psyche. So you'll have like guilt or remorse or frivolity or so all these different aspects, and they're all trying to advise you how to do stuff. You know what I mean? So when
A
you're
bunch of voices advising you what to do. That
yeah,
sounds so
exactly. So,
stupid.
all these different
That's a
sort of
preview for
voices.
what's coming later, people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're all
Right.
trying to sort of sway you to
Yes.
take the best sort of course of action, if you will. I like
Yes.
the frivolous one, for instance, like you've got to pick up a knife at the beginning before you go down into the cellar to see her. And he goes, we don't need that, and throws it out the window. So he sort of haven't got the knife then. So it's like, what do you do that for? And he's like, well, why not?
I want the knife.
Yeah. So it's like, why not do that? So it's kind of interesting, and and it's just weird. And you say to her, there's a point where she says, like, I tried the first time to free her, to sort of because I'm like, maybe she isn't going to end the world, so why don't I just free her? So I gave her the knife because she's like, give me the knife and I'll cut myself out of here. She's in like a manacle, and then she just chops her own hand off. So she chops her hand off to get it out of the manacle, and she's just not bothered. And he's
That's
like,
one way to do it.
He's like, why are you not bothered? And she's like, oh, it's fine. And then she proceeds to slash my throat. So then she killed me. So I was like, maybe she isn't good. Maybe it's not good.
Maybe
And
she
then-
isn't good.
Maybe she's not good. And then the next playthrough, she was manacled at the neck and the wrist. So obviously cutting,
Cut her
you
neck
know.
off.
Well, she does. So you give her the knife and she cuts her own head
Don't
off.
give her the knife. If you gave her the knife and she
I
killed
know.
you, why would you also give her the knife the next time?
She cuts her own entire head off. And I'm just like, and it's so graphic. And it's like, oh, there's a narrator. There's a guy who narrates everything. And he's like, oh, there was just one sinew of skin left and it just slowly fell to the floor. And it's just like, at your feet. And I was like, oh my God. So it is well written and it is well described. And it's like pretty disturbing, to say the least.
It looks disturbing.
It is very disturbing.
Is it fun? Like, are you getting anywhere?
It's
with
definitely
this?
not fun, but it
Okay.
is very interesting because I am wondering where this is all. Because each chapter starts as and you can always remember, like your character remembers what happened, but at certain points you come to what feels like a closure of a storyline, if you will. And when you get to that point, she says, "I can wipe your memories," and then you really do start from what is essentially the beginning of the game.
Oh, it's like Men in Black.
Yeah, so you then start and you can't remember anything. But on the actual playthroughs, there might be 3 or 4 chapters within that playthrough where you remember what happened the last time you did it. And there are certain changes. And it's kind of cool how you question all those changes, like, why is this different? And there's always a mirror. And there's something
Why don't
weird.
you have a
because-
head.
Well, there's something weird because your character has a clawed hand like a serpent or something. So I'm not entirely sure what you are like, as the main character.
Oh, my game had a skeleton hand. Your game has a serpent hand.
Yeah, it has like
what
a
game did
clawed
You had that had a
serpent
monster
hand.
hand.
So, well, I'm
Balacho,
gonna-
you have hands, poker hands.
yeah, you definitely do
Okay.
have poker hands.
Poker hands. I see what
Poker
you mean.
hands. So I'm going to persist with it because there's
That
a lot
was a
of
subtle
there's a lot of replayability because there's a lot of options. I mean, the first like explore questions you can ask, there's about 10 of them. So there's a lot of starting points, from the beginning of
This is
the
about
first.
just wandering through the decision tree now.
Yeah, that's kind of the game. So the kind of the game, but
Yeah.
it's all fully voice acted. So everything you say, like she's fully voice acted, you're fully voice acted. The
I got the
narrator's
fact
fully
that the
voice
game is
acted.
fully voice acted.
It's fully
I don't
voice
think-
acted.
I don't
So
think
does
this
everybody have a voice then,
kinda-
or what?
Everybody has a voice.
Right.
But there's only 2 actors and they do all of the voices.
Okay.
So,
You lift all of them and sing.
yeah, so they do all the different voices for the game. It feels like, I'll be honest, it feels a bit like an Audible book, but a choose your own adventure Audible book.
Grape.
So that's probably the best way to describe it.
Brilliant.
That's
That's
a visual novel.
inspired.
Yeah, I kind of like it so far. It
Wow.
is interesting.
Glad you're enjoying it.
Maybe when I get to what I feel is the actual ending of the game, I might be like,
There's no actual ending in a game like this. It's whatever
That
you do. It's whatever. There's an
was
optimal
the most
ending, perhaps.
amazing experience I've ever had in my entire life.
Yeah, well, okay.
You never know. You never know.
And
But
never know.
it's definitely interesting. I did think, right, I'll be honest, when I started playing this, I did think this would be completely my thing.
Well,
But
visual
I'm not,
novel, creepy, weird.
exactly. But I'm not 100% certain
your
at this
things.
point. I'm not totally.
All
but
right.
I'm
Well,
not
we're gonna have to
totally
tune in
sold.
next week to find out. Come
Yeah,
back,
see
people.
if I'm totally
This
sold
is
on
a
it
true
this time next week.
WAS game, isn't it?
Oh,
Yes, it is.
massively! It is very weird.
For new audio listeners, WAS stands for weird and shit. Thank you.
Well,
very
I'm not.
much.
sa- I'm not. I don't know whether I'd agree with this shit.
You just said absolutely.
Yeah, but it does. It does definitely come under the weird.
Okay, let me just tell you what I'm looking at. Right, I am looking at a bunch of hands coming out of spikes with some text.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you very
pretty
much.
it. That's pretty much it.
Thank you.
Yeah, but Chinny, what would you do with those hands? Would you shake
Yeah.
them or would you try to cut them off?
Close
See, that's a
eyes,
decision you
Mitch.
can make.
Awful.
And then, would you go left or would you go right?
I mean,
Yeah,
I
but
don't
you-
like the Final Fantasy games, but at least that's a fucking game where you run around and do stuff.
And then later in the game,
He's got a heartbreaking decision to make about whether his best friend lives or dies.
Anyway, Torvat and James Bever are in the chat. Hi.
Heidi, hi.
yeah,
Howdy, hi.
Howdy,
yeah,
ho.
yeah.
Right.
All right, Stu, anything else to say about Slay the
No,
Princess?
I'll report back
Okay.
next week when I played some more of it.
Go on,
You
Duke,
do
because
that.
I've only
Chinny,
got
over to you.
I've only got 2 games, so you carry on.
Okay, so I'll carry on then. I played a game called Outpath. It's a demo for a game called Outpath. Here's a question for you, gamers. What would you say if I told you that? Wait, no. Let's do it this way. Let's go listen to the audio from the developers meeting. You ready?
Oh,
Okay.
Here we go.
Sorry.
Hey guys,
Hey.
it's all right, man. Your stomach okay?
Yeah,
some-
too many B12 vitamin pills.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay, check it out, guys. I got an idea for a video game. You ready?
But we're
You
a
know-
bank.
you know
but we're a
how-
bank.
You know how Minecraft, like there's a whole world you got to explore and stuff.
Oh.
What if instead it took place
Oh.
on like some like raised small areas? Like the graphics were really basic and it was kind of like a clicker game.
That
Clicker game.
that is the best idea
do you mean, like
I've ever
cookie clicker?
heard in my life.
So that's this game,
Which is
called
called Outpath.
Outpath. It's it's got overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam, and I'm playing it. I'm like, why? Why on earth does this have overwhelmingly positive reviews?
Yeah.
It's literally Minecraft, but like
It looks
there's, like,
so
3
much like
trees.
Minecraft, yeah. But you're in the
Yeah,
sky.
there's
But you're in the sky.
there's like 3 trees. There's like it's like Skyblock. If you ever played Skyblock in Minecraft, you don't have very
Nope.
many things. You got to wander around and get the few things you have. And everything you do gets you a little XP, and the XP is in the top left corner. And then like instead of leveling up yourself, you use the XP to expand your biome. And so like a new set of these little raised areas appear. And the raised area, literally, it's like if you're 1 foot by 1 foot as like your character, the raised areas are like 4 feet by 4 feet. They're tiny. And you're just running around constantly, just chopping down the same 3 trees. It's fucking ludicrous.
How long
it looks
did you
like
play this for?
I played this for like half an hour. It's
It-
ridiculous.
It looks like a linear
I know.
Minecraft, doesn't it, or something?
It is. That's exactly what it is. Like there's
Wow.
like 6 things you can make, and like one of them is an axe to chop down more trees and chop down trees more quickly. So it is, you know, in that same sense of cookie clicker of like get things to help you do things faster.
It almost looks like it's Minecraft on speed, you know? It's like
Well, it
everything's
is. I
quick,
mean,
super
again,
quick.
that's kind of what it is. Yeah. I don't understand why people like this. I kept playing it thinking like, okay, I'm going to get to a point where it'll click or I'll get something unlocked where it's going to be fun. No, I never did. It was
Do
just
people actually like this? Is it getting good reviews?
this has overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam.
See, this is
I
for the
don't get
YouTube
it.
generation. They just want things
I
instantly, don't they?
guess.
Quick, quick,
But
quick,
we
quick,
get
quick,
what
quick.
instantly?
I don't
With
know.
some wood.
Logs.
You can get
Logs.
wood instantly in Minecraft. I just don't understand. I played this for half an hour and I'm like, oh my God, I feel like my time was just wasted. How on earth are people like, ooh, this is a fun game to keep, like to buy? I'm so glad I didn't spend any money on this.
I don't
This is
get
a
it.
perfect example of why demos should exist, because then you won't give your money to devs who, I mean, look, if anybody out there likes this game, I don't want to be a hater. Write in and tell us why you like it, because
I can
just
fully
don't get it.
see that this might be like the biggest game in the world in the next 2 months, and then Duke says, "I love this game. It's the best thing."
Yeah,
I've
he
ever
is.
played."
Well,
He's gonna
maybe.
be like,
I mean,
"Oh,
that
it's
has happened in the
amazing."
past.
I could just say I
But,
played Outpath
eh.
ages ago.
Before it was cool.
Before everyone was like fawning over it. I don't know.
I
It
don't
just
know.
looks weird.
I'll say it looks
It's
shit.
very weird.
It looks
Yeah,
it
it
looks
does.
shit,
It is
yeah.
shit.
But I suppose I'm old now, aren't I? I'm 38.
To be
so-
fair, Chini, we said World of Tanks was shit, and look what happened there.
Look what happened there. And we
Look
said,
what the fuck
Yeah,
happened.
but like, look. Here's
What
the
was that
thing.
game?
Pal World is not my game, but I played it and I can see the appeal.
yeah,
This, I don't see the appeal. Like, what the fuck?
we said Evolve was good.
Young people.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
we did. We were wrong
Like-
about that as well.
So
I didn't say that.
Well,
You-
you can't be right all the time.
you couldn't wait for Evolve, Duke. You
I
should-
liked it though. I actually enjoyed playing it.
No, and then we
Yeah,
played.
that's
Then we
fine.
played it in reality, and we're like, oh,
No, I enjoyed
You like
playing
the
it in
demo?
reality. I
This
did.
is-
No, I played it for
Oh,
reals for
just
quite a
fine,
bit.
Fine,
just
whatever.
running around.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I like being the tank.
All right,
dude.
so that's Outpath demo.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
Stu,
not
back to you,
cool.
buddy.
Okay, I'm going to talk about something I've had
Okay.
on my list for about 4 weeks since Next Fest.
Go
and
on then.
I've never got around to talking about it. And
Aw,
can I just
snap.
say,
Nope.
this definitely is again under the was banner,
Oh
and
Christ.
it's a game called Until Then. Okay, and
Isn't it, Chinny?
I just
hate-
thought you mistyped Until Dawn.
no, it's Until Then.
Right.
And I don't want to
Yeah,
shock
Slay
you.
the Spire becomes Slay the Princess. Until Dawn becomes Until Then.
Yeah.
Stu's just playing games that are named like other games.
Well, not only that, but I don't want to shock you, but it's another visual novel.
Oh my
So-
Oh, for
God.
fuck's sake. You don't shock me, you just sadden me.
But this, can I just say, this has got a bit of heart.
It's
to
looking
it.
a
So
bit better than bloody Kill the
it
Princess
is.
or whatever.
And you do move your character around, and there are some
Oh, thank
like
God,
game
you move your
mechanics other than just like reading.
I like the dog. There's a dog by a
There's a
tree,
dog,
and I like that.
and it's got its tongue hanging out.
Yeah.
But
If
this
the developer said, "What do you like about my game?" I was like, "I like the dog." Okay.
this
Leave me
has
alone.
some
You're
really
gonna find something
cool
positive about every game.
Yeah.
little touches, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And one of those is the instant you start playing the game because your character. So the game starts as a menu screen.
Yeah.
And your character's asleep in bed.
Okay.
Right. The character's asleep in bed. When you click on new game, it buzzes his alarm in his bedroom. Right. And you have to keep doing it until he wakes up. And it's so funny. And you're like, "Bleh, bleh," and he's like, "Oh, shut up." And he's like hitting the alarm clock and stuff. And you're like, "Bleh,
Yeah.
bleh, bleh." And it's very clever. And I'm like, I like
That's,
that.
that's
you know,
clever. I like that.
From,
I like
from
that.
the instant, from the instant the game starts, it's kind of cool.
I like the art.
It's very nice. It
Very
looks
good.
phenomenal.
Very
Looks
cool.
It's
phenomenal.
pixelated art.
But it's,
I mean, it's cute.
but it's 3D pixelated. It's doing
Yeah,
some
it's
funky
really
stuff.
well
Nice.
done.
I like it.
And the story's great. It's not going. This isn't going to be for everyone because it's all about relationships. So the game starts with you, and you're a bit like. I tell you what, it reminds me of Chinny. I'm just saying, he's a bit of a Chinny character
Why?
In what way?
because
Cool as
because
fuck.
No,
He has
well,
a baby that he
kinda-
almost lost.
Because he's a bit of a slacker, right?
I beg your fucking pardon.
He's a girl in his class. They've got a book report thing to do, right? And a girl in his class like texts him and goes, "Have you done the book report like we agreed?" And he's like, and you've got to answer like, and obviously you haven't done it, so you've got to answer like, "Yeah, I did it," or "Yeah, of course I did it. I've got your back," and all this sort of stuff. So he gives you all these like cool replies that you can do, or you can just fess up and go, "Yeah, I didn't do it," or whatever. But obviously, I lied through my teeth. I'm like, "Yeah, of course I did it." And then the minute that he like stops texting her, he texts his other mate who's doing it with him. He's like, "Oh my god, she just asked me, did I do it?" And I said, "I didn't do it. I didn't do it. What's going on? What am I going to tell her?" Right?
So
And
a big
it's-
chunk of the left side of the screen is your phone, I'm guessing, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's really natural. It's
Yeah.
really well done. And then your mate goes, "No, don't worry, man. We'll just do what we did last time." And like, "What did we do last time?" "Yeah, we'll just cram it. Like, get to school. If you get there 10 minutes early, we'll sort it out then, and she'll never know."
Yeah.
So you get to school, and then you're with your mate, and you're just talking smack, and then you're like, eventually you do it. And it's so funny. And they're doing this book report, and it's like, "What shall we put next?" And you're having to decide through all the. I really, really liked it. I thought it was really great.
It's charmed you.
Yeah, I really, really liked
there's a-
it.
there's
and
a
I
mini
am
To
game-
be fair, it doesn't take much to charm Stu.
There's
but
a mini
still.
game where you got to do your buttons up. How about that?
You do, yeah. It's a bit weird. It doesn't take more than 2 seconds, but you got to fasten your buttons before you go out. So there are all these like weird mini games. None of them are obviously complicated. And the first time you button it up, you do it the wrong way. So then you have to do it again because you've got the top button.
He's such a
out of line.
waste, man.
He is a waster. He comes up, but he's charming with it. He's like,
Oh. So that's
You
what you
know,
think of me, Stu?
yeah, you're a charming slacker.
A waste of space, but, you
Yeah.
know, it's quite funny.
It's funny. That's exactly what he is.
That's
And his
me, is
mates-
it? That's
That's
my
you to a
legacy that
T.
I leave to the
That's
world.
you to a T.
Lazy prick. That's
you
quite
also
funny.
put TikToks up of us
No,
talking. So
no.
there's
Yeah.
that.
Lazy funny
Sometimes.
prick.
Yeah.
Lazy funny prick.
Okay,
I
that's
think.
okay then.
Lazy
Yeah.
Not
funny prick.
sucking down too many vitamins.
And it's just cool. It's just all about chatting. That's literally all this, but it's really natural and really well done. Like there's a bit where the girl, like everybody wants to go out with a girl who you're doing the book report with, but obviously she doesn't go out with anyone.
right?
Do you know what I
I
mean?
like how Chinny's trying to fast forward in this video to get to an interesting part, and it's just like all the
I'm
same.
failing a lot.
You see, like even that, like colour me uninterested. Like he's talking to this guy, and he says, "He's like, oh, colour me uninterested." Like that's something Chinny would say. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm always saying that. To be
Is it
fair.
though?
Yeah, it's like it'd be a put down. They'd be like, put
Oh,
down.
man,
I
that's
just
Chinny,
printed
all
I
right.
just printed a T-shirt that said it. To be fair.
Yeah, yeah. But I think the dialogue in this is just brilliant. And yeah, like I say, you go to this chess tournament, and her best mate's there. And
I'm
she's
always
like,
going to chess tournaments.
yeah,
all
exactly.
the time.
Yeah. And she's like, "Oh,
He's
you're only
giving
here
up
'cause-
snooker and poker.
You're only here because you want to like get off with her or whatever." You know what I mean? She's like got you fixed big time. She's like, "Ah, you're only here because you want to get with her."
Meanwhile, she's like, "Color me uninterested."
But then it turns out she's already got a boyfriend, but it's a secret. And then like she's like, she asked you, she said, "Do you want to go for like something to eat after the chess tournament?" And you're like, "Yeah, of course I do." And then she's like, "Oh,
She's
do you
a
mind if-"
hooah.
Boyfriend's there.
She's like, "Do you mind if Rob comes? He's my boyfriend." And he's
Oh,
like, you
jeez.
can see it's like, oh.
Have you seen that sketch?
Ah,
You know who you know who Matt Berry is, Stu? Stu, do you know
Yes,
who do you know who Matt Berry is?
I feel like I recognise.
He's the guy. He's in what's that vampire sitcom?
Oh, I do know that
What they do in the dark
Dracula?
something
Oh yeah,
in
what we
the
do
shadows. Yeah.
That's a
And he's
great movie.
also the boss and the son of the original boss in the IT Crowd.
Oh, yes, no, I
Father, you
do
know
know
him.
him.
And
Yeah,
he
yeah.
has this great. He did a sketch show years ago, and he has this great sketch where he goes up to these like women and he charms them and he goes, "Hello, pretty lady," and he helps them carry a bag, and he's like, "Well, what a beautiful woman like you walking over here." And he says, "Well, you know, I'm just walking here to my flat and." "Oh, you've just moved in. Well, well, you know, yeah, me and my boyfriend." And as soon as she says boyfriend, he just drops the bag or kicks the dog that she's walking.
Oh yeah,
All
you
right.
sent me that. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
That
what
is
reminded me.
funny.
Yeah.
But to be fair, to the guy in this, he is very gracious. He's like, "Of course it's fine. Of
course it's fine."
Yeah, he says that, but he's not thinking that.
But then there's a little bit of a spark between her mate and him, right? And I'm like, oh, maybe they're going to get it on. You know what I mean? Maybe something's going to happen there. I don't know. I just liked it. It was kind of like there's possibilities. There's stuff going down. And then he has a best mate that just feels a bit like unrequited love, you know, like that she maybe fancies him, but he just sees her as a mate.
Aww.
And there's a bit of that, and he goes for a coffee with her afterwards because obviously they end up not going to the restaurant for some reason. I can't remember why.
This sounds stressful. This is everything I hate about high school. This is awful.
And then
Yeah,
this
really.
is
Remember
what
when
it's
you were like
like.
trying to
This
date
is what
people
it's
and
like.
everyone was miserable and full of hormones and ego?
Remember,
Yeah.
Why not
remember when
experience
everybody
that in
said
a
you got a
video
great
game?
personality? And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, thanks.
This is that game of that life. That's what this is.
Yeah.
I do like it. I think it's really well written, and I am kind of going to be playing this. I think when it comes out because I just really liked it.
So this was just a demo then.
Yeah, this just demo. What's really cool though, it reminded me
The
of
end
To
of the
Moon.
demo, is that really cool?
No, well that is really cool because
Oh.
it did
You don't
remind
have to
me
play
of,
it anymore.
of To the Moon because it kind of had a natural ending to the demo like a game would, and then there's the full cast at the end, like you know, and the producers and who did the voice acting and all that kind, and it's almost this cool thing. It's like a self-enclosed, like encapsulated demo game that's like a little mini game in itself.
Well, I've decided that I don't want to play the game, but
No, I'm sure.
I love the art style. I will say
It
that
is-
about
it
it.
is
I
great.
think it
It's so
looks
good.
brilliant.
It's
yeah.
fine.
Duke is
Yeah.
crazy. So
I mean, I'm not
Yeah, it
saying
is.
it's not bad. I'm
Duke
just
is
blown away
crazy.
by it.
It is.
Cool.
But yeah, I'll be definitely watching out for when this comes out, and I will surely be playing it. I reckon.
Right.
Right, Ginny. Even shall we come to one
Ginny,
of
you're
yours?
up.
Now? Yeah, Ginny.
Well, I've
you're
been
up.
playing a
More
little
hiding.
bit more of Alan Wake.
About
Okay.
time.
Alan Wake.
Yeah.
So I'm still in the watery, but I'm just sort of floating around and like finishing off things. So I haven't played
Yeah.
loads of it. But the one thing I'll tell you about what I did this week in Alan Wake, fuck me. Like, I jumped out of my arsehole when this happened. Right. Because I knew the map is... You're in the game while looking at the map, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? So the game
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
pause.
Mm.
And I thought I was
be
in a
careful.
safe area. And
Oh,
my... You know, like the term, my blood ran cold. Like,
yeah.
there, honestly, when it happened, my whole body just went, like that. Like, it was awful, right? Because I basically got attacked by dogs while I was looking at the map. Fuck
Right.
me.
Oh,
I
them dogs are vicious as well, aren't they?
Fucking shat myself, right? And I was in a situation because you know the watery area, you know, with the Cothy theme park Stu and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So I've done the story bit of that, but I was going through to get a few extra bits, and I went to the lighthouse as well. But obviously, I can't go in there until I get all the.
Did you see your
bits.
Virginia Woolf there?
No, I didn't see that. So I
Virginia
walk.
Woolf wrote a book called To the Lighthouse.
Great stuff. Play the jingle. Are you gonna play the jingle?
Oh.
Right.
Oh wait, I do have to play the jingle there. Yeah.
1 sec, everybody. Just hold.
Yeah, there you go.
Another reference by Duke that no one understands.
Great. So,
Brilliant.
as I'm walking around doing that stuff, and yeah, there's just just a lot of creepy moments, and I just stopped and looked at the map, and these two wolves attacked me, and then the other thing was like I had such little ammo in that situation because I know the game gives you ammo dynamically. I think, Stu, doesn't it?
It kind of does.
I think because when you're low on ammo, it seems to give you shitloads.
Yeah.
And then when you've got lots of ammo, every box you open, it's almost not worth opening the box because you'll waste it. Because then there's nothing in there. But yeah, I was literally down. I've got the crossbow, Stu, now.
Oh, I barely used that. I got it, and then I didn't really use it.
I need every bullet or arrow of fucking everything I've got.
Called bolts in a crossbow, Chinny. Come on.
Yeah, whatever, right? But I need them. I was putting bloody cats in the crossbow. I don't care anything that fires.
How'd you find him in a painting?
Can I just say, I'm assuming you're playing this on normal, are you then?
Yeah, but I've only as Saga, I've got a pistol, a shotgun, and a crossbow. Those are the weapons I've got as her. So yeah, I'm.
I must admit, I just went straight to like easy. I didn't even play it on hard. Yeah,
I think. Well, obviously, I think
I didn't want to be stressed. I didn't want to.
It is stressful. The ammo is stressful.
And
I remember like shooting one guy, and I'm like, I've got 4 bullets left. So if this guy goes down in 5, I'm fucked. And luckily, I got him in the head, so I had like 3 bullets left. I was like, oh, thank God for that.
You not have a melee weapon of any kind.
You can punch them when they get close, but it's like
you can. It just
I don't know.
punches them back, doesn't
it's like
it? Really...
It's like trying to punch a cruise ship. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't really do anything.
Okay.
So you know, yeah. So that's my whole body went cold when I just heard someone come up to me and attack me, and I was like, oh my God, it's a dog. Oh fucking hell, absolutely shit me up so much. But now I'm done with that area. This is where I am now. So I'm done with the watery area, and now I'm going to move on to Alan Whack.
Oh, you got well. You can get there, can't you? From the
from the puddle. So I'm in that tavern now. You know, in the side dressing room.
Is he still singing?
No, he's done. He's done. And I'm in that side dressing room with the puddle. So that's where I am.
Yeah.
So when I go back in, I'm going to go in as Alan Wake and carry on. So
yeah. Oh, you're gonna have fun. You're gonna have some fun.
Yeah. So that's Alan Whack.
Yeah, it's decent. It is so good.
Alan Whack the second. Yeah. Cool.
Okay, Duke, back to you.
Yeah, Hover Steppers.
Oh yeah.
Is a
game.
Video game
that
is right. Imagine if you had a skateboard, but it was a hoverboard.
Whoa! Slow
Back to
down.
The Future too.
Got him now. Back to the Future.
I got a pit board now. Yeah.
And everything about the game was exactly like a skateboarding game. Wouldn't that be awesome?
But it looks awful.
It's not great.
No.
Yeah, this looks like something off like I don't know a mobile game.
Yeah, well.
In fact, I think there's probably mobile games better than this.
Yeah, okay, well, I mean, I'm not gonna claim it's great. It's a skating game. You got a hoverboard. You grind and stuff.
It looks like one of those free games they give you to promote burgers.
Or it
the
looks
cool
like
thing that it does.
Go on.
The one thing that it did that I thought was kind of cool is you can grab a pole. There's tall poles, short poles that you're like slaloms, and then there's tall poles. You can like grab them and swing around them, which I thought was kind of cool.
That's neat.
So I kind of got the sense that if I'd spent some time and got into the flow of it, it might be more fun. But
it looks too slow.
It looks very floaty,
slow, yeah.
very floaty.
It is very floaty and slow. Yes,
I suppose the thing
and
about
again, like
I was going to say the thing about skating games is like because you know you've got wheels and they've got to hit a surface. It makes you feel connected to the rail, connected to the ramp. Whereas
Right.
You're just sort of bouncing
Doesn't
around
have that.
everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the good thing is you can't really. I don't think you really stop. Like if you don't land well, you just kind of fall
sort of
over and then it
plonk
gets back
over.
on it and stuff. Yeah, and there is like a boost mechanic, so it does speed up at times. But I just even then I was like, I'm not.
I've
Really
just
enjoying
spotted
this.
a huge flaw with this game.
Really?
that?
What more than what? Only one?
No, well, look, an absolute no-no.
Oh,
Go
go on
ahead.
then.
What's that?
The hoverboard works on water.
It works on water.
Hoverboards don't work
Which
on water.
According to the Bible, aka Back to the Future 2, that doesn't happen.
You know hoverboards don't work on water unless you got power. Yeah.
That's right. They don't work.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll be
So
honest
that's
with
Hover
you.
Steppers.
I'll be honest with you. I feel like Skeel is better than this.
I don't know what that is.
Skeel.
Just sounds like you just
Oh,
made
the
a
Seal
word.
game?
The Seal
No,
Christmas
yeah.
game where you just do
No,
the.
definitely not.
I think Skeel's
Absolutely
better than
not.
this. I think it is.
Whatever.
John
I think it
Nezzy's
is.
John Nezzy's in the chat. Say hello to John.
Woo! Hello,
What up,
John.
John Nezzy?
John Nezzy.
What's good, everybody? Jason, James Bevan, SLH. Howdy.
Jason. Jason.
Yeah, so that's it. Nothing to say about Hover
Yeah,
Steppers
that
other
looks
than,
terrible.
Yeah.
That looks
Yeah,
terrible.
it's not great.
Yeah,
Wonder
I've
how
only
long
got
it
one,
took to make 6 months.
10 minutes. I don't know, 15. I've only got one other game to talk about, and that's Banishers: Ghosts of New Eden.
Oh, this is the Witcher. That's definitely not the Witcher, isn't it?
It's the Witcher that's not the Witcher.
it's
but
Vampire that's
the
not Vampire.
Ghoster. The Ghost is probably a better way of describing him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's hunting ghosts. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I'm kind of on the sort of next major. What's kind of interesting in each major story arc revolves around figuring out why someone's being haunted, which is kind of, I guess, makes sense.
So like a detective game.
Well, yeah. That's,
It is, and it's like,
are you detecting, or is it just the characters detecting?
no, well, you're kind of you have to find clues as to.
I
why
like that.
someone's
That sounds
being
good.
Haunted. So
You know,
you've
Shinny
got
likes
to
some detecting.
explore all these areas, then you've got to piece everything together, and then you've got to, once you've done all that shit, then you can decide how to get rid of the ghosts.
Stu,
So you get this sort of-
John Nezzy says that he's used to listening to the podcast at 2 times speed, so we all sound very drunk. So can you speak a bit quicker, please?
So what you gotta do, you gotta find out what's going on, and then when you get to the like cave, and then you get the haunted cave.
See,
and
I
you
don't.
get
I don't know if Stu's aware of the
okay.
fact that there is technology now that can speed things up without also shifting the pitch.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's true.
Anyway,
Anyway, let's
yeah,
talk really
I
quick
like
so it fucks up.
that.
When John listens to it at 2 times speed, it fucks it up for him. So
Yes,
what do you think of this game?
let's Talk
Yeah.
very quick.
I actually think this game looks very good because I'm interested in playing it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I mean, it is all the like I've said before, all the characters are really well fleshed out, and the story I'm following it. What's kind of cool, you meet these characters, and then by completing these ghost missions, you find out shit about them. You know what I mean? That you didn't know.
Nazi shit.
So,
Like what?
like also like stuff.
Like Bruce Willis was dead the whole time.
Yeah.
Like for instance, yeah,
Bruce Willis was a Nazi all the whole time.
the current one I'm doing, one of the main characters at it's a village, I guess, where all these people have sort of gone to, who are like refugees,
Right.
and they're looking after them. But then you find out some shit went down with one of the main characters that
Sexy
you didn't
stuff.
know. Not sexy stuff, no.
It's never sexy
Which-
stuff.
Which kind of explains why she's so bitter, because she's quite a little bit bitter. She don't really like her sister. She's a bit funny
Her
about
sister
her.
was
And
a
then
Nazi.
Yeah.
her sister isn't. No, but then you find
Sexy
out some
Nazi.
stuff, and you're like,
Sexy Nazi.
That kind of makes sense. I guess that's why she's a bitch. That's
Yeah.
why she's a
I don't
bitch.
blame you for being a bitch.
I'm a bitch. Sheryl Crow loves it.
I mean, you don't have to actually piece any of the evidence together. You just have to find it and compile it, and then go, yeah, that's. And you do piece it together in your head because you start making sense of
Like
what's
Alan Wake
going
too.
on again. Yeah,
You
so
piece it
kinda
together,
make-
but you don't have to do anything. She just sort of comes up
yeah,
with it
she
herself.
just sort of does it. Yeah, it's kind of a bit
Oh.
like that.
They never mentioned a necklace, but I know it's definitely about a necklace.
Yeah,
like, how the
exactly.
fuck did you work that out? It's like-
Exactly. Yeah, so there is a bit of that intuition type stuff. There
Mm.
is a bit of that intuition where they're going, oh yeah, well that makes sense. And
There's a
it's
note
cool.
here that says there is something strange in the neighborhood, and then a number. Who am I
Yeah.
going to call?
Exactly. So yeah, it's pretty good. I'm really enjoying this. I really like it. It is giving me the Witcher vibes. It's not giving me Alan Wake 2 vibes. Can I just say it's not really like that at all. But Witcher vibes for sure. It is that kind of interesting, like moral choices, deep characters, well written, fun kind of game. It is fun, but it's fun. The only minor criticism I'd have is like the combat isn't that deep. It's very hack and slash.
Yeah.
Duke would probably like this because it's very like you don't have to think about it. It's like Skyrim. You just hack till they're dead.
Hack
Yeah.
till you drop.
Yeah.
Right.
So there you go.
Shall we talk
There you
about Return to Grace?
Return.
I think we should talk
to
about the
Grace.
bitch game.
Yeah, bitch! Yeah, bitch!
Climb a game, bitch.
Yeah, it's got the Breaking Bad connection.
Yeah, bitch!
What kind of
Yeah.
section of the show is this, Duke?
Yeah, Duke.
This
what
is
what
the
happens?
section of the show where we all agree on a game and then we play it and then we talk about it. Well,
2 weeks
that's what was
ago.
supposed to happen last week. Yeah, but these two knuckleheads didn't
Yeah.
play it, and I played it, and I had 3 pages of notes about it, and now I've been
I
waiting
know.
for a week solid to talk about it.
I know. I must admit,
so
when you
Return-
said that, I was a bit like, ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah. The Return to Grace is a walking simulator. You start off in a spaceship landing on a planet that's frozen, and your AI assistant, Alan, I think his name is,
Yeah.
sort of
Yeah,
talks you through the
Alan.
process, and then you land,
Alan
and then you
Wake.
get out of the little space. Yeah, his name is Alan Wake. And all you can, it info dumps with the main character talking. Her name is Addie. And she has the AI on her wrist, so you hold it up, and then the AI is talking to you as you're going through this frozen wasteland, and you're going to find out why Grace was turned off.
Yep.
There's this AI called Grace that was turned off, and that's your whole purpose. is
Well,
to
it
figure
kind
out
of. I
why.
mean, the impression I got was like she'd gone into exile or she'd just disappeared one day.
Well,
type
that's the thing. She's offline, and so you're
Yeah.
trying to find out why. Are we giving spoilers? Because I have so much to say
Yeah,
about
of
this
course
game.
you can.
Spoilers for the
Okay,
game
so-
Return to Grace.
Return to Grace.
It's only
And I would
about.
say
By
that
the way,
if-
it's only about 2
2
hours
hours long.
ish. So
Yeah,
you
and
know,
it's-
if you wanna-
Is this new on Game Pass? It says like if you scroll down a little bit, it'll say like here's how long to beat. Like they're
Yeah.
putting it
Oh,
on Game
no.
Pass now. I don't know if that's
I
on
didn't-
your
I didn't
end,
know
but
that. Yeah, I didn't
yeah,
know
Yeah.
that's
No, I've
pretty
seen
cool.
that.
So
Um,
yeah. Anyway,
can I just say the first thing I thought playing this was like it looked amazing. I wasn't expecting that.
the graphics are pretty good. I
They
mean, you
are.
can't really tell much at first because you're on this frozen planet and there's
Mhm.
wind everywhere, but the graphics are pretty good for a
Yeah.
pretty indie game. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting the
Go on
like
then.
photorealism or anything like that. I was just expecting it
Come
to
on
be
then,
an indie
Duke.
game.
Give me good. Let's
So,
go. Go on.
Here's the thing: if I had played this last year when it came out, it would have been either number 1 or number 2 game of the year.
What the
I know. Like, it starts off. I wrote down like, oh great, low oxygen, slow movement, opening doors takes forever. And so
Talking.
I went into
A
this
talking
thinking
woman.
I would
eh?
went in thinking I'm gonna hate this. I was gonna play it for like 20 minutes just to say I played it, and I tell you, we got to the garden. I was fucking hooked.
Oh,
because
just got the bloody meditating. I know.
You love a
well, here's the thing. A lot of games will put you in a beautiful place and just be like, look at how beautiful it is. But this game actually engages some important philosophical concepts. So for instance, at one point, Addie, the player, so you meet these 3 AI. As Alan, your ship's AI, I guess you lose contact with him or whatever. But in this temple where you're exploring, you meet these 3 other AI. One is called Logic, one is called Control, and one is called Empathy. And Logic is trying to help you on your mission. Control is, surprise, trying to control you. And Empathy is empathizing with you. And it's a really interesting mechanic, in my opinion, because these two are going to hate all over it, I can tell. But that's okay. It's actually, these gardens, they're, this garden you go into, like, it's a receiving area. Like, you're just there. That's where people come in. And I would say, by the way, if you haven't played this game, I really urge you to not listen to us until you're done playing it, because I found it to be a really interesting experience, and I think it would be better if you don't have spoilers going in, but whatever.
No, I totally. I'm not gonna look. I'm not gonna hate on it, Duke. Right? Because there's a
Good.
lot.
I'm glad to
There's
hear
a
that.
lot of things I liked about it. I liked the graphics. I
cool.
liked the voice acting. I thought it was excellent.
Yeah.
I thought the scripting was really well done. And I thought it had a great sense of place. You know, the sort of the art style. It is another Bioshocky Art Deco type
It
place.
is. Again, with the Art Deco, I wrote that down. I'm like, there are other design and architecture styles. For fuck's sake, people. You can echo the past without having to use Art Deco.
But it did fit. I felt it fitted the narrative. So I wasn't.
I mean, there's a lot that could fit.
I wasn't that opposed.
I'm not too
to it
bothered
being
by it
Art
because it's a
Deco.
minor aesthetic detail, but it did bother me. But I mean, whatever. It is what it is. You know, you squeeze into this vent early on, and I was like, what the fuck? Why would you do that? I mean, I guess you got to get inside somehow. Yeah. But it just felt weird, you know, and it's all dark in there. And then when you come into the garden, you come into the garden, and I think there's some stuff you got to do before you get to the garden. But you get to the garden, and you're looking at relics of eras gone by. There's a blacksmith's anvil at one point.
Yeah, she's like, what the hell is that for?
What is that? And she says at one point, it's kind of beautiful. And Logic is like, yes, well, that's going to be very helpful getting into where you need to get to. And Empathy says something like, is it important that it's beautiful? And I was like, oh shit. Like, this question about beauty, I think, is so integral to what drives us as human beings. And this game said, I'll tell you what, just take a second and look around this place. And normally when a game makes me slow down, I am so pissed off at the game. I'm like, fuck you. And I was thinking, I want to figure out, can we just get done with this game, please? I want to just figure out what's going on. And then I realized, wait a minute, no. What's going on is I'm playing a video game in a beautiful garden, and I like this garden, and it got me to slow down and not be angry. So when a game can do that, that's magic.
It is. I mean, I've been talking about the overarching themes of this game. I did feel it was a massive sort of comment on religion and why people follow something blindly, regardless of whether it's real or not.
I actually don't think that's a central theme. I mean, that's the surface theme.
It is. I mean, when you spend all that time around the apartments and it's finding all these people's wishes.
That's just helping you understand what grace is.
I guess.
That's the only reason you're listening to those wishes. You're going around apartments and finding these canisters, and you listen to little bits of them, and they're like what the people get selected to come to grace and give their wish, and then grace kind of tries to make it happen.
But it also, like, for instance, Control's obsessed with starting what could only be considered another pilgrimage to draw everybody there again. So it is. It has got massive religious themes, I think, to be fair.
I mean, it does have religious themes, but I feel like the bigger question is how we relate to AI. Because one of the things you do in this game, if those of you haven't played it, you shouldn't be listening, but whatever, you combine Logic, Control, and Empathy into 3 new characters. And I don't remember the combinations of them, but I think Logic and Empathy becomes this character, Pal. And
is that the boy? Is that the young boy?
Yeah.
No, that's Control and Empathy. Control and Empathy.
Okay.
Because he fixes
anyway,
still, doesn't he?
Yeah,
but you need Logic to fix things. But anyway, so you get these 3 new characters, Pal, Mom, and Jack. And I think that the interplay between them and the question of, obviously you're going to have to pick between one of them to listen to or not, because Control is telling you to do this and the other characters are telling you to do that. But I genuinely, Pal is feeling ashamed when he can't get you. Pal controls this jetpack that you have in order to get rid of some ice so you can use this tram at one point. And when he doesn't control you very well, he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And like, I just found that very interesting that an AI could be, could have a sense of guilt or shame in it. And, you don't really have the option to respond to him, as most games would give you, with, a lecture or oh, that's okay, buddy. But I did find myself relating to all these different AI in very interesting ways. So again, I feel like that's a rare thing for me to do when I play games. So I felt like that was pretty cool.
Well, I think that's down to the voice acting and the writing of the game. I think it's well written and it's well voice acted.
Absolutely.
So let me ask you, I mean, there are some branching paths. So did we all do the same stuff? So there's a bit where you can take the lift
I can tell, Chinny. Why don't you go ahead, Chinny? Just say what you want to say.
No.
You hated it. You wrote down. You said I said I had 3 pages of notes. You said I wrote 1 note. What was your 1 note?
This game sucks ass.
Shit.
No. See, you've fallen into my trap.
Bullshit. You're not
Did you
going to
really
say
like
you
it?
liked it, did you?
I liked it.
Did you?
Oh,
I liked
shit.
it.
Oh, you got me.
You've fallen into
Yes.
my trap. I thought I'll text
3
him this
thumbs
because
up,
that
baby.
was true, by the way. I wrote 1 note.
Okay.
But since you've
What
been
was the
talking
note?
about it, I wrote a few actual things that I thought about it.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, that was true. I wrote 1 note, which was the note was
on.
I like the shortcut feature. Because in the game there's a bit where like you can either cross this beam or you can go the longer way. Does it multiple times. I'm like, cross the beam. I'm fucking taking a look. Fuck that.
And
Oh, yeah,
normally
and
I
then
would
there was
do
a
that
bit.
too.
There was a bit where it's like, if you take the longer way, it gives you a chance to get to know us. Right? Beam,
We
beam,
can talk some more.
beam.
Yeah, but there's also if you don't.
I was gonna take the beam, but then I was like, no, I want to know more about the
Beam.
AI characters.
I
And
think-
I
I
wanted
think
to
you
know more about the
definitely-
player character too.
Yeah, you definitely find out more about what went on there if you don't.
Beam.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
obviously you
So
explore
the question then becomes
apartments, find
right.
out
The
people's
question then
wishes.
right, exactly. And this is why it's a Rorschach test, because it holds a mirror to the player and says, "What are you here for? Are you here for finishing the game and having that sense of accomplishment quickly, or are you here to have a more interesting experience with the story?" And obviously, Stu's going to go for the story experience because he plays
Totally.
Kill the Princess or whatever the fuck.
Play the princess.
And normally, I am in that camp of like, I just want to get done. But in this game, I was so interested in the characters and the ideas in the game that I wanted it to kind of keep going.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was interested to find out what people had been there and why they went. You know what I mean? That's what I was.
So to that extent, hang on a second, Cheney. To that extent, you can either go figure out what you need to do to advance the story, or you can wander around these apartments, and there's like 20 of them, and hear the things that they left for the recordings and stuff. And at first, I was like, I just want to get done, and then I was like, after listening to some of the recordings, I'm like, all right, I'm kind of curious to learn more about these.
Yeah, I was the same.
you gonna say,
The
Chinny?
one. Sorry, go on.
I because my time's very limited. I had to like sort of sneak this game in basically. So that's why I was just trying to get through the game as quickly as possible. So when it was like,
Sure.
you can take a shortcut, I was like, fucking yes,
Yeah.
I'm taking a shortcut.
I wonder if
But-
your experience with this game would have been different like
but,
2 years ago.
But like, I remember finishing it going, I didn't fucking hate that at all. Do you know what I mean?
That's actually a
like for
compliment.
me, for a walking simulator,
Yeah,
I was like,
that
I
is a
didn't
compliment.
want to rip my fucking eyes out at all. You know, because I actually enjoyed it, and I don't think I would have gained much from doing the optional stuff. I find out that somebody had a colostomy bag in one of the apartments. I don't know, whatever, right? But for me, I was like, that's okay. I don't think I needed to know anymore. I got
Right,
the gist
sure.
of it. I get it. It's a fucking stupid AI that you switch on, it solves all the problems, and she's like, well, I switched my, this spoiler. I switched my fucking self off. What are you gonna do? And I got the gist of it, and I liked the view of Jupiter at the end and all that sort of stuff.
Which then raises the question, like, how important is story to you in games generally?
Well, I think I think it is important, but I don't like my time wasted too much, I suppose.
Fair enough.
So it's very rare that I get invested in a story in a game. So the fact that I didn't want to rip my intestines through my arsehole while playing this game was a testament to the game. Some of the other things that I wrote on my notes, for example, I like the fact that you can see your feet.
Yeah. So
There
you
was
got a sense of
I don't know,
body.
that's a funny comment, but like
I love
there's
this,
a-
like, philosophical implications, humans
Yeah.
interacting with robots. You can see your
you
feet.
can see your feet. But the thing is, like, I just like
If
there's,
that's
little,
important to you,
there's a
that's
lot of little
important to you,
touches.
yeah.
I'm like, that made me feel a little bit more okay.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
game gets it. I like the fact that your main character, the protagonist, is a first-person view, and she talks because a normal person would fucking talk.
Correct.
All right, and
Actually,
it-
she's talking to the AI, but even when
She's-
she's not
yeah,
talking
but
to the
she's-
AI,
you
she's
know,
kind of talking to
But she's
herself.
always got
Yeah,
someone
no,
to
I
talk to
agree.
because she's talking to Alan or she's talking to the AI,
Right,
and she's
right.
saying stuff that you would say, and then she doesn't go,
Yes.
I better climb up this fucking thing to herself. She's saying it to the AI. So everything felt
agreed.
real.
Yeah, it makes sense.
When you're
makes
playing
sense,
like
doesn't it?
Pacific Drive off a cliff, right? There's no talking. So it's like, are you there? Are you dead? And you're like, I'm not going to say anything. Why?
Yeah.
It's stupid, right? It's an old mechanic that's stuck around and no one knows why.
Yeah,
So,
Pacific Drive still irks me that
Yeah.
the main character just doesn't say anything
I-
at all, ever. He doesn't even like when he's being chased by fucking weird bloody storm things. He's even going, oh shit!
yeah, you'd say shit. But I like in Return to Grace, I like the door code stuff because the AI goes.
It's a very simple.
It's a big
shape of
yeah.
things.
It's a big like sort of grid of buttons, and you have to make a pattern or a letter. And the AI says, "Oh, it's the sign of Zorath the third of Gronkadov," and I'm like,
the Phoenician letter, blah blah blah.
"Fuck!"
It's
And then she says, "Oh, it's
Babylonian letter. You would know it as an X.
like a Z or a Z," and I'm like, "Oh, it's backwards." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's."
right. Yeah,
and there was no other prompt. There's no other clue. It's literally like if you did not listen to her, you would have missed it. And I'm like, I like that. And I also love the fucking fact that the game went, I can skip the door thing if you want. And I went, fucking yeah, you can.
But then did you?
No, I didn't skip any because I was just like,
I didn't either.
Yeah,
I love the fact that at one point one of the characters says, "I sense there is joy in this work for Addie," and I was like, "Yes, I'm playing a game because I like solving puzzles." And the fact that it gives you the option to like skip those puzzles, I realized like, wait a minute, no, like, I mean, maybe if the puzzle was irritating, the one where you have to tune a frequency by moving the marble around, that one's a little annoying.
Oh,
and I wouldn't have minded skipping that.
You mean the dial, the dot on the thing?
Yeah, I got quite quick at it, so it wasn't that big a
Well,
deal.
the one,
I mean, it wasn't a big deal.
There was one line where you've got an option of the ladder or a path, and I think it's weird because I don't really get like I'm just like whatever dialogue, whatever, and then like the one of the dialogue was like, oh yeah, that is what I'm doing. She's like, oh, there's joy in figuring it out. Because I figured out the how to get up the ladder. I solved that little, you know, when you got to get the number by flicking the switches. And I was like, fuck.
And
She
it's,
says,
like, in binary
I've got a
or-
sense that Addie enjoys, you know, the sense of achievement is
I just
greater
said
than
that.
oh, is that the one you said? Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
And I was like,
Yeah.
that is what I'm doing. I'm
gotta
trying
write
to
it down, though.
figure it out. Yeah. So I was
Why
like,
wouldn't you want my help? Jack says. Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like that's a good question. You
It's
know
a
what I
good
mean?
question.
Like, because it's the thing of like if there was a mountain that you had a beautiful view at, right? And you climb the mountain, it was so difficult to get up the mountain, and then you realize there was an elevator on the other side of the mountain. Would you tell your friends there's an elevator over here, or would you
because it's
want
the
them to
achievement to get it up
experience?
there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's
exactly.
a journey. It's a journey.
When
So
Jack
people
says
played
that,
video games back in the day, they were like, you know, oh, I can do this level for you. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm playing this game. Why would I
It's
want
way
you to
more
do the level?
satisfying when you do it yourself.
I think when Jack says that, like, why won't you let me do it myself? And then the reply, I think that's when the game sort of won me over a little bit. I was like, yeah. Like I literally
And-
had the option to not do that, and I did it.
Right. And that is that's everything about this game.
Yeah.
I do think
Grace, hang on, Grace. I know I have cut you off a couple times, Stu. I'm sorry, but I'm just so
fine, it's
excited
fine.
about this.
I know.
Grace that's what Grace is. Grace can do everything for you.
Yeah.
And when she decides like I shouldn't be doing things for you because then you don't have a purpose to your life. Now, I personally don't know that I buy this idea that in a perfect world where no war and no starvation happens, we would get bored. Because I think personally we can come up with games and puzzles and ways to distract ourselves. I don't buy the idea of like, I wouldn't want to be alive forever because then, you know, you get bored. I'm like, not me, motherfucker. Maybe you would get bored, but I'm not me. I think boring people get bored easily. But that aside, I think it's a fascinating concept. Go ahead, Stu. I cut you.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, I think, you know, I know you're sort of partially disagreeing with me, but Grace is a kind of a god analogy.
Well, she is, yeah.
It's predicting
She
a
is.
world.
No, you're right about that. Yeah,
it's
you're right.
predicting a world where an AI becomes like replaces God almost. And the wishes of people praying. That's exactly what it is.
It is. It is.
And it's nothing about.
No, go ahead.
I mean, let's be honest. Most of these wishes that we listen to on these things could never be granted by Grace.
Right, but the design.
But
sorry,
it's that faith that Grace possibly could do it. You know what I mean? Regardless of whether she does or she doesn't, it's that blind faith like religion where you believe it can happen, even if it probably won't.
I guess this is where like we interpret, again, it's a Rorschach test. Like you see it as a religious question. I see it as a question of like what we give up when we try to, or not what we give up, what we reveal about ourselves when we pray to someone else and or wishing or praying or whatever it is. Yeah, no, I mean, I think you're right that it is in some ways religious. I just saw all of those things as ways to build to this. I mean, that's what the humans saw it as, but you as the player eventually realize that this is just another piece of technology. And
well,
therefore,
you see,
the question of whether
behind
it should
the
exist
curtain,
or not,
don't you? You see
you do
behind
see
the
behind the
curtain.
curtain. Right. And you even see what Everett doesn't see, because the guy who the last believer, you know, the keeper of Grace, moves his bed in next to her and all this.
I think it was what I took from it was like, you know, if all our prayers were answered and everybody got everything they want and everything was in peace, would you still be happy, sort of thing? That's sort of like, you know, if everything was fine, would you be fine? That's kind of like what the message I took of it.
Well, the answer,
it's that sense of purpose, isn't it? And whatever.
but the game answers that to an extent, because the answer's no. Because there's someone smashes all the room up, you know. So obviously, even though they're meant to be at this Eden where everything, all your wishes get granted, there's still angst. You know, there's still something gone down.
But is that? But I thought that was because he was turning it off or something.
Yeah,
Don't
I think
know.
he was turning it off.
I think
yeah.
it leaves it quite ambiguous, to be fair.
Well, I was just going to say the opposite. I was just going to say what I appreciate about this game is that it went somewhere. Like I didn't wander into a thing and then you know, look, you were talking about what's that other game that we played that you ended up finishing, Stu, but didn't.
Close to the Sun.
Look, one of the last things you said about that game was like you meet Tesla, then he says something vague, and then it ends, and you're like, "What the fuck?" Whereas this game, game was like, no, it actually said something, and then it got out, right? And you know, you got to a thing, you get to the place where you want to go, you got an answer, whether you like it or not. You find out what's going on, and then you get like this beautiful view of Jupiter, and then it's done. That's the game, and it's like a really nice.
Paradoxically, it leaves the question of whether Grace should exist or not as a totally open question.
Yeah.
Which I think some gamers would be mad about, but I think it's actually really cool. And I don't know if y'all noticed this. I asked the developer because they have like join us on Discord. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna go on Discord. I was like, why don't we see Everett's body? Did I miss something?
Right.
We see the bed.
Oh yeah, that's
we
true.
don't see him.
Yeah, where did he go?
I was like, well,
McDonald's.
I asked, like, what's up with that?
He went to McDonald's.
Yeah, exactly. He said we were going to put his corpse on the bed, but then we decided not to leave it open in case of a sequel.
No, I don't like that answer. I don't like. No, I don't like that answer.
I'm okay with it.
I'd have rather the existential. Did he just get absorbed into Grace or something?
Well, there's that. Yeah, that's possible.
I would prefer if he was just there on the bed alive, just going, "What? What's the matter?
What's the matter with you, dude?
What are you here? Who are you?
Who are you?
Yeah, right,
How'd you get in?
So can I ask? I'm assuming neither of you two ever did what Control told you then, when he's like,
"Well, we told you to throw the thing at the."
Yeah.
I know I didn't.
He said get
rid
of all the other AIs.
I really wish I did.
You right there. But see, here's the question: you wish you did, because that would have been much more direct.
I know, but I didn't like him that much.
Yeah.
I felt like if he was a bit more charming, though.
Like more manipulative.
Yeah, if he was a bit more like, just chuck it in, just stick with me, I'll be all right. I'm your best mate.
You don't want to waste your time listening. See, that would have been more of a paradox, or more of a dilemma at least.
Because I like the other ones.
It was very clear what you're supposed to want to do.
Yeah, I like the other ones. You know,
right.
But
you still had the choice. You could have still chosen to take them all direct.
I really like the bit where they turn him down because he's going off on one. And the other AI just turns him down, going, "Oh, don't worry about it, we'll turn him down." And then they bring him back in, and he's still going. Like I thought that was really funny.
That was great.
But I think if they made him more charming, I would.
Falling is kind of fun.
Yeah,
no. And Pal is like, falling is kind of fun, and like, you know, he at one. I don't know if y'all looked him up, but if you look the videos up, if you do obey Control and chuck the other AI out, like, when you chuck him out, Pal is like, no, please don't, and it's so heartbreaking.
Oh yeah,
to
I would have
hear
loved
him,
that. I would have loved
dying.
that.
I'm
Yeah.
like, no, but I think here's the thing. To your point, Chinny, if they had made Pal a little annoying at times and made Control a little more charming, then that would have made it more of a dilemma because then you would have a reason to turn away from the friendly AI.
Yeah, no, I like that.
So, I don't
When
know.
you said, "Oh, Pal goes, please don't kill me," that actually makes me sad that I didn't do that now. I wish I
Yeah,
chucked him
yeah,
out.
it does.
You want to blow up Megaton as
Because
soon as you
I
see the
feel like
bombs.
I've got like very, very like from 10 being very strong, 1 being weak. I think I've got like 0.25 of Tourette's sometimes. Do you know what I mean? Where I'll go where I'll go, you know what? Like someone's holding at something, I'm like, I'd love to smack that at their hand, and I've just got enough control to not do it.
See, I don't know that that's exactly Tourette's, but I hear your point.
Impulsive
Yeah,
behavior,
yeah,
I
yeah.
guess.
And I'm like, I
Frontal
did
cortex.
hover over that prompt of like, yeah, I could just
Yeah.
I just could kill them all, couldn't I? That'd be
Right.
so
Well, that's
funny.
the thing. I didn't seriously consider it, but I did consider it. There was a part of me that was like, that would be a lot faster, you know. And by the way, if you were to obey Control, you hit the button to bring people back.
Yeah.
And then like, there's nothing for you to do. He Control takes over, and he's like, you said something about you have 7 hours of oxygen. You should find a comfortable place to spend those 7 hours. It's like, damn.
So does the
Control.
game end at that point? Do you get
The game ends at that point, yeah, because Control is just about itself. You know, Control just wants to manifest its own control over people, right? He's driven by controlling people, and that's why, again, sort of like, you know, it is a religious thing, but it's, I think, more to the, I don't know, in my perspective, Control is really about the ego, and empathy is about empathy, obviously, and logic is about logic. So I think, I don't know, for me, it's a fascinating look at the different things that make us human in the form of these different AI.
Yeah. Oh no, definitely. I
This
definitely agree
this
with that.
conversation's a little bit too smart for me, so I'm just going to add the word penis in there.
Good, I like
Well, here's
that.
what I'll say. I only have 1 or 2 more things to say. Did you notice the Demolition Man reference?
Yes, the 3 shells, wasn't it?
The 3 seashells,
Yeah.
yeah. And Demolition Man, for those who don't know, there's a bathroom that you see at one point with 3 seashells, and it's like there's no toilet paper. It's like, what the fuck are you supposed to do with these seashells? So in this game, when you go into the bathroom, there's 3 seashells.
You get an achievement
and I
for that.
posted, yeah, exactly. I posted on the Discord. I was like, I like the Demolition Man reference, and he was like, and he gave, instead of a thumbs up, he gave it a seashell.
Okay.
OG.
Nice.
Maybe I should
Yeah, I see what
send
you
this
did there.
conversation about it, and then I'll get the developer of this game
Yeah.
hearing
let
me
him know,
say the
man.
word penis.
Penis.
You
Yeah,
know.
exactly. That's gonna be in the sequel.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
No, it's, you know, I'm sure the developer would love to hear me say I didn't want to rip my intestines out through my
I
anus.
bet that's a compliment though for you, Chinny. as
For
we
me,
said
yeah,
already.
you know,
Yeah,
obviously
exactly.
they might not know
That's
who
high
I am, but
praise.
I'm someone who doesn't really like these types of games.
You know,
Me neither.
Gone the Home.
I don't
Gone
like
the
Rocky
Home is probably
Simulators
the
in
only other
I,
one
I
you
d-
like.
but that was
Yeah.
one of the first ones I ever played, you know, and also I always, I think it was sort of
Have
new.
you
But I
played
think
Firewatch? Did you play
Yeah, I
Firewatch?
played one. I thought it was
Yeah,
okay.
Firewatch was
I thought it
Yeah,
was
Firewatch
okay.
is pretty good as well.
But I like the fact
I
you,
feel
you're
like
talking
this
that as
did
well.
what I think this did what Gone Home did well, which is generally it kept it focused, right? This game could have easily been 4 hours or 8 hours, and they were
yeah.
like, we don't have an 8-hour game here.
I really
They
appreciate
will
that.
will keep it straightforward, and I really appreciate the fact you don't have to dodge death every 5 seconds.
No.
Like they could have put monsters in here. They could have had some of these people from the temple like still there attacking you, and they gone crazy, and they didn't. They were like, "There's no point for that," and I was like, "Thank you for not making me dodge death every 5 seconds."
Is there anything that you
Um,
didn't like about the game, dude?
The first part I didn't like.
I hated the first
I
part.
felt like, it felt so predictable and like slow moving and oxygen and all.
When
this.
I was going through
And
the
I don't think
tunnels,
it's
when
necessary.
I was going through the tunnels, I was like, "Fuck this!" Like,
Yeah,
I don't know
right.
about this, but kept
Now
on going.
again, they kept that relatively short. That was maybe 5 minutes at the most.
Yeah.
Which is maybe even 2, because then that was good. You know, and they wanted to get you to that puzzle, right? Where Control is like, you must do this and that, and like logic is like, well, you have this choice or that or whatever. I don't think you have many choices, but they're introducing the characters basically.
I like the payoff
and
you
then
get
when
at the
and
end.
then when empathy was like, sorry, go ahead.
I like the payoff you get at the end of your first AI character guy.
The post-credit sequence, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
I
so
like that.
good.
I like that. That's funny.
Yeah, it was great. And that moment when empathy is like, is this what kind of oxygen level do you like? What temperature is good for you? I was like, who gives a fuck? And then I'm like, wait a minute, no, maybe that's. I mean, it doesn't matter. But then the question is, what does matter, right? If we were only interested in living in places that were utilitarian, we wouldn't have any pictures on the wall, right? Why do pictures on the wall matter? Well, they make our lives a little better, right? That's what art does. So I found that to be very cool. All right, I think I'm done gushing about this game.
One thing I would say to you, Duke, on liking this game so much, there is another game which is more fleshed out, which I think you should play.
What's that?
The Forgotten City.
Gears of War.
Because
Gears of War.
it's no, not Gears of War. The Forgotten City is so much like this game, but more fleshed out and more
Yeah, but isn't that a game where you have to do the same sort of thing over and over?
No, it is, but not. Because each playthrough you do different stuff. So even though you do repeat stuff at the very beginning of each playthrough, you learn.
I'll take that under advisement.
Well, Forgotten City,
that.
I think you would really love as a result of playing this.
Well, if it's on free at Epic Games Store or 90% off at some point, maybe I'll give it a try. We'll see.
Put it on your wish list. Put it on your wish list, and it'll tell you when it's on sale, won't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
What Gears of War? Put Gears of War, man.
Yeah, Gears of War. Gears of War is just like that.
Which
Thought
one?
provoking.
So there we go.
One or
Return to
two?
Grace, people. 3 thumbs up. This is very rare for us to all enjoy a game.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I was quite impressed.
All right. What are we playing next week?
Well, there's not a lot. I mean, I must admit, Game Pass wise, it's a bit slim pickings. We could try the Indivisible, which we kind of I mentioned that could be a potential.
Indivisible.
Okay.
Indivisible
is an RPG.
Indivisible. Yeah, it's an RPG.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Give it a go.
Oh, I just googled it and
Indivisible,
I hate
people,
it
play with us.
already.
We'll talk about it next week.
I know.
Okay. Cool. All right. Do we got news?
Not that I ain't got no news.
Things
Me neither.
happened.
There's
We got community stuff, emails.
Something probably happened, but
Something.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
I'm
we
wearing
have-
that shirt today. Something's happening.
we have got an email, so let's shall we do that?
Oh, sweet.
Whoa, that ruled.
And it's from Jason.
Of course it is.
And he says this: a failed prediction.
Okay.
Failed prediction.
Go ahead.
Hey, skinny humans.
Hey.
Hello.
I'm
I'll
not
take
that
it.
skinny, but thank
I'll
you.
take it.
Yeah.
Take it. As a veteran gamer, I love to see the development of new video games. Not the shit
Okay.
ones like the new Chucky game or the ones that use antique speech bubbles to tell their story, Pentiment being the exception.
Yes.
It uses a speech bubble method, but at least it was interesting and unique, so suck old bub.
Yeah.
Over a decade ago, I believe that Playdead, Simogo, Heart Machine, and a dude named Swery would significantly bring the change we needed into video games for years to come. I was wrong and right. So here's an update on these devs' next releases. Playdead are working on a third-person sci-fi action adventure.
Oh, okay.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah.
This will be better than anything Rockstar vomits onto Chin's lap,
Damn, that's cold.
unless it's Red Dead 3. So there you go. He's okay with the Red Dead. He's okay with that. I think Simogo sat back and enjoyed their profits for far too long. The last game was good, but it was no Device 6. Their upcoming L'Oreal, I'm thinking that's like the hair products. I don't think it is that. Lorelei? I'm not sure how you pronounce
Lorelei.
that. Lorelei. Could be Lorelei. That makes more sense. Lorelei and the Laser Eyes may push things forward with Heart Machine. I don't know. Hyperlight Drifter was and still is a masterpiece, but the follow-up I have yet to complete. The upcoming HLD2 could make up for it. I don't know what HDL2 is. Anyone any ideas?
No idea.
No,
so-
I agree. Clear. I don't know what's going on here.
HLD2. He'll correct us next week and tell us that was stupid. As far as Sweary goes, I believe in one-hit wonders. Since then, he has shit the bed. I believe he partied a little too much. Hopefully, him and Suda51 clean it up with Hotel Barcelona coming this year. But honestly, it looks like the same old dirty sheets. It's
Welcome to the Hotel Barcelona.
It's a side scroller, and every time I look at it, every time I look at a side scroller, I see the same game. Did any of these creators bring change to the industry? Of course they did. Unfortunately, the copycats are shit at making games. But you see, it shouldn't be copycats, should it? They should inspire people to do stuff as a result of what they make, not inspire people to copy what they made or do. Because that's what we see a lot. I mean, how many games do you play, Duke, that are like so many other games?
Well, yeah, of course.
But just slightly different. They're not inspired by those games. They're just blatant.
They're just clones,
rip-offs.
right? Exactly.
Yeah, rip-offs
right,
of those games.
Because most people don't have the willingness to put in the work to actually turn the inspiration into something else. They just want to ride that same train.
Yeah, or even the creativity, you know what I mean, to come up with something of their own that's inspired by something
But
else.
I actually feel like creativity is 90%, 95% work ethic.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. Stu, play a game called The Bed We Made. It seems to be a Hitchcock-style gorgeous hotel murder mystery about lesbians. You need to redeem yourself, and this one...
We're leaving it behind. Come on, Jason.
Signalis are excellent. Yeah, I'm not even going to respond to that, really, at this point.
No. That's probably a good advice for most of what Jason Gallagher writes in about, to be fair.
Yeah.
Just don't even respond.
I'm Jason, and I'm currently playing South Park, The Stick of Truth, Silent Hill 2, in brackets, which way do I move the controller to go where I'm trying to get to? And Inscription. All three are brilliant. She reminds me of the cop in South... Yes. She reminds me of the cop in the South Park game. He has the ultimate secret attack. Sorry for the long speech bubble, suck old Bob. So there you go.
Yeah, suck old Bob. I love it. Thank you, Jason.
So there you go. Thanks, Jason.
Did he have like questions? I feel like I
No,
lost
no,
questions
that
he
was
may
it.
have asked. Okay, fair enough.
No, there were no
All right,
questions.
thank you, Jason. That's the only email you said, right?
That's the only email, so we've got to speak pipe.
Or we can talk about what's on the Discord. Can I do that real quick?
Yeah, you can do the Discord chat.
Okay.
Discord. 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 Discord.
I got to make a shorter version of that. Chinny, did you want to do the honors? You want me to do it?
Carry on.
Okay, so I asked in the questions, I put it on my phone, by the way, so Discord, it's a lot easier now for me to check it on a regular. So, I asked, hey, ask us a question or I break a you face. And Mint Safe was like, why are you so angry? Cranky Duke. Yes, I am Cranky Duke, although I'm not feeling cranky today. So anyway, GH Rocker said, for the past few years, I've been trying to buy a house with my partner. It ain't fun. This made me wonder, do the veterans of the gaming lifestyle have any stories of their days of house hunting? Any horrific places that made you turn right away? Any funny cases of estate agents trying to blag their way through a problem with the property? Thank you.
I know the story that Stu's going to say.
You know the story. I've got two. I have got two.
Well, I know one of them. I reckon.
Yeah,
What's
you
one of them?
definitely do. You definitely do.
There's a shower in the middle of the stairs.
Yeah, there was.
I think about that all the time.
It's the funniest thing that I ever saw. It said shower on the landing, and I expected to be a door off the landing into a shower room. And when we got there, there was an actual shower cubicle on the second stairs landing. So as you went up the stairs and then it turns on the next set of stairs, there was just a shower there. And we just both looked at each other and was just like, am I really seeing that? It was just so hilarious.
Pretty crazy. What was the other
It
one?
was. The other one was more just a comment my brother made, which was one of the funniest things he's ever said. Because, but you'd only get it if you knew my dad, right? Because my dad was one of these people who was into stupid shit. Like, he'd buy, like, piranhas, because why not? Do you know what I mean? He'd always have stupid shit. He'd get, like, tropical fish, because, like, oh, I like tropical fish. Like, it was just a weird bloke who just bought stuff for the sake of buying it, because it was like, because he thought it was.
Not like Stu, who is very considering
No,
and
no,
very
no, no, no,
deliberate
no,
about his purchases.
Because he thought something was a novelty, you know what I mean? It was like a bit of a novelty.
Again, I'm
Oh,
sorry,
'cause
Stu. You got a VR headset. You got 3DS the day it
No,
comes
but I
out. You
buy
got
that. Yeah, but I
OLED.
buy that because I want to play the games on it, or it's some new technology.
I know,
My
but
dad used to get piranhas and firemouth fish and stupid shit, like just.
Because he got
so
pleasure
could
from
show
them.
off.
Like
No,
you
it's
get pleasure from your OLED.
No, he got them so he could show off and say, "Hey, look, I've got a piranha," or whatever.
Kind of like your OLED screen on the Steam.
So you'll not find this funny whatsoever, but Kay and I pissed our sides. So we were when my brother came up, we were looking at houses, right?
Yes.
And we had all these details for loads of these houses. And he actually came to he came to view one with us. I can't remember which one it was, but he came to look at one with us. But anyway, one of them had a swimming pool in the garden, right?
Okay.
But like a house, like a semi.
Like
It
an
was just like
above-ground pool.
Yeah, it was just like a bog standard semi-detached house, and it had
Which
a
you don't
pool
get in England very much.
in the garden, right? And my brother said, if it were me dad, he'd be like, "Oh, I can get that crocodile I always wanted,"
Yeah,
right? And it was just hilarious, and we just couldn't stop laughing because it was just like, that's what he would totally want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Get that crocodile. I always
Duke,
wanted.
your mic has changed dramatically.
Yeah, I don't know what's just happened. It sounds like you're talking.
What?
It sounds like you're talking through a telephone, like an
Yeah, it
old
does.
telephone.
Old-fashioned telephone. That is
Oh,
very
I
odd.
moved this.
Okay. Hello. Is
Hey,
that
Oh
oh,
yeah,
thank
that's
God.
well, that was
Oh.
well
Wow.
weird.
I
God.
accidentally clicked something on my.
That felt like I
yeah,
was
I'm
holding
sorry.
my breath and then I
Hello.
opened my mouth. It was awful.
It was.
Um,
So that's the only funny story about
Well,
buying
we-
houses. You just
Okay,
the way
for this-
my dad
for
said
this
it, his
house-
brother said it was hilarious.
For this house, we looked at 27 houses before we found this
Wow.
one, and I honestly can't remember. But there was one house where it was very like an eccentric house. Like it was, I feel like he was like a sort of a comic book artist or something. He had like a ton of comic book art on the walls, and he had like a big pad where he'd draw big things, or maybe he was an architect or something. Do you know what I mean? And he was like really
Yeah, yeah.
elaborate.
Yeah.
And the garden was fucking extra as fuck, right? It was like this weird pathways and weird stepping stones, and then a little mini bridge, and it was like there was no lawn, there was no like. I was like, this. You can't have kids on this garden. This is.
I
Like,
bet he loved it. Though. I
like
bet
this-
that guy loved that.
Right, and I was
garden.
like, this garden's insane, right? Like, it must have cost a fucking bomb, this garden. And I remember, like, you know, when you look, the estate agent lady, she was a young lady, and which, you know, usually they're trying to sell the house, and they're like, oh, this is the. She was laughing with us by the end of it. It's like, this is fucking awful.
I don't know what the fuck this place is
Yeah,
about.
what the fuck? And then
Yeah.
I remember one other house, like. Do you know? I don't know, because like estate agents, they're quite local, aren't they, Stu? So you won't know this
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
right? But there's an estate agents, and there's like good ones, you know, like whatever. I won't say their names. And then there's this bad one, which I will say their name, called Skits, around this area, right? And Skits is just like the fucking like it literally like they turn up. You turn up, they're smoking, they're like, you want to buy this house, eh? Like that. And, you know, you're talking and I'm saying things. And, you know, if you're an estate agent, right, and I say, oh, you could knock this through and make the kitchen bigger, what would you say?
Yeah. Oh, that would be a good idea.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's lots of options. Yeah, you could do. He
What did
went,
he say? Why the fuck you want to do that?
basically, he went, nah, you don't do that. I went, why? Just kitchen's big
That would
enough.
fuck this house right up.
Kitchen's big enough, eh? You know what I mean? Whatever. And I'm like,
So
what
was
the
it?
fuck?
Was it like a real
Maybe he
life?
was trying to be like, oh, you don't need to do any work on it because that'll make it more appealing to you.
I don't know.
Or maybe he's
Was
just
it
a
like a
nasty,
real
angry
life-
person. I don't know.
Real life.
Staff sells flats.
Is this
is-
staff slow? I was
sells
going to say
flats,
that.
yeah,
I didn't realise you knew the show, but yeah, it was like a
Yeah,
staff.
so funny.
There's a
Staff
pigeon.
sells
There's a pigeon in
flats.
the loft, yeah, or something. But yeah, it was. It
Oh,
was.
it's a feature.
He was like, yeah, and I thought he was the. I think we got off on the wrong foot straight away with this guy, because I thought he was the owner of the house. Because sometimes you
Oh.
turn up to the house and it's the owner showing you,
Yeah, yeah.
and sometimes it's the estate. Honest mistake.
Fizzo.
How many times must that happen? All the time, right?
Yeah,
And he's
sure.
like, "I don't live here. I don't live here. I'm like, all right.
But I would if I could.
Settle down.
All right, it's fine.
One of the funniest I've heard recently, right? One of the women I work with, her son's currently trying to buy a house, right?
Go on.
And he went to view one that had been rented out. And when he went upstairs, he'd put a brick wall down the middle of the main bedroom, in the middle of the window. So it had half a window on each side, in each side of the room.
In a house he was renting.
Yeah. So he could have more bedrooms.
Jesus, he didn't give a fuck about his fucking security deposit, did he?
No. He owned it, but was renting it out.
Oh, I got you. Okay,
so
okay.
the owner who was renting it out, so he could say it had more bedrooms. He built a wall in the middle of the main bedroom, smack bang in the middle of the window, so he had half a window. But
even
you
I
could
didn't do that
see,
in like House Flipper.
You could see the whole window from both sides, so you could see through into the other bedroom through the window.
Yeah,
it was just like, and I said to him, if he buy and then he put an offer in. I'm like, he's buying a house with a wall in the middle of the bedroom, and she's like, oh well, he's only on his own, so he's not bothered.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah. But I you know, look, the thing that I always used to just, you know, carpet in a bathroom is just like, what?
Oh
the
no,
fuck?
yeah. So Tim Wee.
Do you know what I
No,
mean? I'm
thank
like,
you.
because I know, I'm like, obviously, yeah, you can rip it up and all this, but I'm like, but that's piss. There's piss in there.
But you also know the floorboards are going to be piss stained, don't you?
There's
When you
just
take
piss
that carpet
everywhere.
up?
It's just, oh no.
So
You
for
know.
those who don't know, I was this decision to move to the country was all Duchess. And by the way, it's her birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Duchess.
birthday, Duchess, Diane.
Yeah, she made you, didn't she? She forced you to
You
go.
don't
She
say
didn't
it was
make me,
her,
but-
her decision. There's no way you live on a farm.
Yeah, I know, right? But she was very cool from the start. She's like, "Look, it's my farm. I'm not looking to make you do any farming." She's going to Poland in April, so I will be taking care of the goats when she's gone. But still, it's very minimal.
I'd say they rope you in.
Yeah,
but
it is.
when we were looking for places, like she needed land, and the more land that's available, certainly for an affordable price, the further away from civilization you are. So one of the first houses we looked at had a really nice house on it, pretty good land, and it was kind of close to where I teach. So my commute would have been basically 10 minutes, whereas it was 20 minutes, and now it's 30 minutes. So it would have been a very short commute, but the only internet that was available was satellite internet.
Jesus
and
Christ.
that's not good internet. So I was like,
Internet?
You know
What the
it's not a big
fuck is
deal.
that?
I was like, is that really that big a deal? I can just play single player games.
Fucking
Like
hell.
that's how much I love this woman. I was willing to go along with that.
Nah.
And then she was like, let's keep looking, and we kept looking, and we found this place, and I was like, oh.
Thank God.
By the way, I thought that Starlink was really fast internet. Is that not that?
Well, I don't think we would have gotten Starlink. I think it was some like, I mean, that's Elon Musk's, isn't it?
Yeah, that does super fast.
But that's
internet
also
over
very
satellites,
expensive, I
isn't
think.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah, it probably is.
I mean, if you, and it's, you know, whatever. Anyway, this was not Starlink. This was Sunlink or
Shitlink.
something like that.
Shitlink. Internet.
Right, exactly.
Internet.
All right, some more stuff from Discord here. Yeah. Linux 2 said, when are y'all going to spread democracy on Helldivers 2?
Oh.
Ginny, you said you own this, but you
I
still haven't
own the
played it, is that
game.
right?
I'm such a bad friend because I sent Marsh, my Bezzy, I sent him a video of me holding Rosa saying, Rosa wants you to buy Helldivers 2. Buy Helldivers 2. And he bought it and he loves it. He loves it. He absolutely loves the game.
He would
And
love
he's-
it even more if you
And,
would
and he's like, when are you playing? I'm like, I'm so stupid. Like, why did I tell you to buy it? Because I haven't got any time to play it.
But I did play a game where you go explore an empty temple
it's
on
one
a
thing
frozen
playing
planet.
games. I mean, he's got 2 kids, so he's coming at the other end of it now. So his kids are 9 and 6, so they're you know,
you don't
I
have to be there every
I went
second.
round there and like they're just fucking chilling, playing Fortnite, loving life. You know, like they're just loving it. So, but like Rosa, literally, if I don't move her, she'll just lie there and do nothing.
Yeah, right.
So lazy. So yeah, he's on the
You gotta
other
put her in
end
that
of the
bouncy
scale.
chair, man.
So he's been through it, so he understands. He's not
Yeah.
being that bad about it. But I've bought the game. I bought it last Saturday.
Yeah.
I haven't played, but there is hot news. There is a window next
Oh.
week where, and these don't come very often, where I'm on my own
Oh.
in the house, no baby, no wife,
Oh.
right? At a
Oh,
time. No, because it's all
Party
one
at
thing.
Chinny's.
There's all one thing. Like I do have time to play games, but it's always like 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah, right.
You know what I
sure.
mean? Or
Marsh is
very early.
asleep.
But the problem is, Marsh is asleep because he goes to bed at a sensible
Yeah.
hour
Yeah.
the square, because he's up at 5 every morning. So, you know, and past 10 p.m. Marsh barely says a word. And I remember playing games with him. This was 10 years ago, right? And if it got to 10 p.m., all of a sudden his words per minute would just go down massively. So he,
Yeah, because he had to be quiet because his wife.
no,
was
not because of that. Because he just gets tired and he's like, oh yeah,
Right.
and he's just clocking out. So, but I have a window next week where I might get a chance to actually play games in an hour where Marsh is awake. So it's all well and good having time to play games, but it's also being available at the same time, which is really, really difficult.
Yeah, I've got to say my multiplayer game days
Exhausted.
are way past. So
But it's not because you don't have time, Stu. It's because you just don't play them, isn't it?
just not for me anymore.
See, I mean, but we might play Dead Island 2 together, aren't we? We'll try that.
Possibly, yeah, I've got that. It's good.
But it's
I
never
like
going to
it.
happen. But it's nice to
No,
think that
but
it
we'll
will.
give it a go. We'll give it a go.
Yeah.
The thing that might happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that might happen.
Okay,
So what's next?
I'm curious. I want to play it, but it's expensive. I'm a cheapskate. All right, next question from Shakes19. With lots of remakes and remasters coming out to give that nostalgia feeling, like the recent Tomb Raiders, are there any old games you'd like to see being brought back? For me, it would be the Die Hard trilogy. I had that on the Sega Saturn and would love a remake. I never played the Die Hard game.
Yeah, it was on the PlayStation. There's like very different types of games.
You know what? I think there's only one game I want. I mean, I'd love to see Eco redone, but the one that I would love to see is Mercenaries Playground of Destruction. That game was
you love that. Yeah.
dog's
Yeah.
balls.
I think EA
It was the
that
first
now,
really
so.
awesome open world game I think I ever played.
I'm trying to think. I mean, it's hard to pick a game that hasn't been remastered. To be fair,
Well, I've got a really good one.
You got an absolute bastard of a game, have you?
I've got a bastard of a game.
Go on.
That
on.
would be Time Splitters.
Time Splitters.
Oh,
You
a lot of
remember
people like
Time
that.
Splitters?
Yeah.
It was a really, really cool.
Do you know they
sort of-
remade that in Fortnite recently? Do you know that?
Is that
Really?
true?
Yeah.
Oh, I love Time
Wow,
Splitters.
okay. Well, you got to check that out, Stu. It's free.
They are.
Yeah.
did do that.
so,
that.
hopefully one day, and I didn't realize that. I'm just having a look on Wikipedia. I didn't realize they became Crytek afterwards.
Yeah.
So they were Free Radical Design to begin with, and then they became Crytek. And do you remember Haze? Oh my God, that was diabolical, wasn't it?
I do remember
Haze. That was the
Haze
the
on
Halo killer.
PlayStation
That was the
3
Halo
was
killer,
awful,
wasn't it? Yeah.
It was, and it killed the PlayStation nearly because it was so
awful.
bad.
It was awful. I remember
was
like
so
listening to a
bad.
podcast, and this is when podcasts were like first coming out, and I listened to this podcast, and it was the writer of the game, it was a British guy, and he was like, "When have you ever played a game where you play as the good guys, and then you turn into the bad guys?" And I'm like, it wasn't that big of a revelation in the
games.
game. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
okay,
right.
it's awful. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
terrible game. No,
Isn't
I
there
can't.
drugs involved too?
I
Is that why
genuinely
you became
can't
the
think
bad
of a game. The
guy?
only game that sort of comes to mind, the Tomb Raider games came out recently. I have a huge fond memories of playing the Tomb Raider games. They've been remastered. Carmageddon 2 is probably like the one game that I absolutely loved as a kid. And I do have on my Xbox the latest Carmageddon game, which I don't think anybody played or liked. It's still there. I haven't tried it, so I'm keen to try that. But Carmageddon 2. But I did buy Carmageddon 1 and 2 on Steam for like 3p or something like that. So I might go back to them. But no, I can't really think of
There you
anything.
go.
Can't really think.
Yeah, it's quite funny
Alright.
actually. I'm just thinking to myself now as I'm looking at this Wikipedia thing is that Haze was so bad it killed the studio and they renamed themselves Crytek UK. It was almost like
Terrible.
yeah, we had to rename the company so no one would associate us with Haze.
I'll get some gameplay of
There you
Haze
go.
on the screen. I haven't seen that game for a long time.
Years.
All right, while you're doing that, Joystick J said, "I just came back from New York not long ago, and
Oh,
for
yeah.
like a week I was really depressed.
Yeah.
Have you ever come back from a holiday or completed a game or TV series and it been left empty and depressed
Yes.
after it?"
When I came back from New York, sad. When I came back from Gran Canaria, sad. When I watched Breaking Bad and it ended, sad. When
I
I,
was
played
just gonna
Red,
say Breaking Bad.
when
I
I
was
played
gonna say
Red Dead
Breaking
1,
Bad.
sad. When it ended.
Well, Red Dead
GTA
1,
4,
Yeah.
when it ended, sad. Red Dead 2 ended, sad.
Is that because you're having these experiences that are so positive, and then they're
I'm
done,
like,
and you're very sad?
I mean, we've said this many times. There are many games or many TV shows or things like that that we've either watched or played that you'd love to just wipe your memory and not know about it, and then watch it.
There's that.
Completely
I
fresh.
think for me, traveling is there's a lot of stress that comes with traveling for me. So when I get home, I'm always so relieved to be back in my own home, to be pooping in my own toilet, to be sleeping in my own bed. You know, it was nice to see y'all when I went over there. It was nice to go to France and, you know, Germany and stuff. But I'm always just like, oh, thank God I'm home.
Yeah,
when
I'd sort of when I went to California, I'd agree because that was like sort of similar to your trip to here, Duke, where
you got sick, didn't you?
No,
when you got sick, was that a different time?
No,
Tara didn't Tara get?
Tara got a bit sick, but
yeah, Tara got sick.
It wasn't. Yeah, but I mean, that was when we that was
Tara, so I don't really.
Yeah, but like when we went again after that, and
oh, that's right.
That's right. You did.
So I went to San Francisco like twice.
Yeah, you did.
But that was fine. So yeah, but when we went the second time, you know, that was like San Francisco, Carmel, San Luis Obispo. I can't remember where we went. Like Palm Springs, LA, Vegas, and I was relieved to be home. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, thank God. But when I went to when we went to Gran Canaria, we literally said we are doing nothing, and I think the only thing we actually did was a parasail because I'd never done that before, and I was sad coming back from that because I was like, oh, I just, you know, people go, oh, you need a purpose and stuff. So like, I'm all right for a couple of weeks. You know what I mean? I didn't get bored of doing fuck all for 2 weeks. I really didn't.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I think the only time that's happened with me is probably when we went to Dominican Republic when we were very young. We were only sort of. We'd only just been married. Yeah, we hadn't been married for very long when we went to Dominican Republic, and it was just such a cool place for 2 weeks just to chill and do like nothing.
Nice.
The
Vegas trip. You know the Vegas trip that I went on with Marsh?
Yeah.
Because I don't spend a lot of time with Marsh. I don't spend a lot of time with my brother. Obviously, I don't spend a lot of time with Robin or Greg. And we were all so excited about that trip. And then when it was happening, I remember thinking, God, I'm already sort of sad it's happening, right? And then when it ended, I was so like when we were me, Robin, Pete, and Marsh was in the airport. Greg had already gone home by then. I remember thinking, oh, this is really sad. It's finished, you know. But I had a great time. It was a great holiday.
I guess I was sad at the end of the day when I met all y'all. Like that was a very awesome
because you're like,
day, and I kind of didn't want it to end.
Yeah, it's done. Yeah. And I do miss the EGXs sometimes.
Do you know? I was just gonna say that, like when you used to come home from EGX, you're like, oh, you know, especially you know when we first started going.
I even thought about going like maybe we should just go to one with very low expectations. Of like, this is just going to be shit, and we'll just tell everybody we're going, and if it's just me and you, Stu, we'll be fine.
Well, we did the other one, the Res one,
and we'll
a couple of times we did that.
Stop in some shitty hotel like we used to, vlog it like we used to, and have a bit of a laugh, and see if anybody turns up. Just we know EGX isn't the same, but it's like, and it won't be as good as back in the day. But it's like, you know, something to look forward to, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Chance to, it's an excuse.
We should definitely.
I
mean, we still need to sort out a meet up, don't we? At some point in time. So we do need to try and think about that.
Yeah. So you know, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, maybe we can do that or something. But yeah, I do miss those. I used to get so excited about the EGX weekends.
No, I did.
I
did. It was like so. I used to look forward to it all year. You know, it was kind of this like, it's going to be amazing. We're going to see everybody. We're going to have some laughs. Get pissed. Well, that'll not be happening anymore. I'll be reaching you on the sober bench.
That's all right. But even like you know, when we went to like the midlife gamer party, we were like that one where we played pool and you beat me and all, just like little stories and funny things. And I do miss it. I do really miss it.
Yeah. We had so much. No, I'll never ever forget. I'll be honest with you. The one I'll always remember was the first time we went to the EGX party, the midlife gamer party, and they were just giving so much shit away. They had they had this table of swag, didn't they? And it was just filled with stuff.
I'm surprised it didn't kick off because it was so crowded in there.
Oh well, and then we all got booted out, didn't we? Because they were all helping themselves to beer, nicking beer and stuff, and we were just like,
good stuff.
Oh, it was just so funny though. Like, I can never forget.
I'll tell you what, I don't miss though. This fucking game Haze. Have you seen some of this gameplay? It's fucking awful.
Terrible. It was terrible.
But yeah,
there's no wonder this was slated.
maybe we'll do Ejects this year. We never know. You never know.
Stay tuned, people. It could happen.
Maybe.
Ian said in the chat, I'd like a new version of Shadow Complex. That was cute. Siphon Filter was another one that
I don't think there needs to be another one because it was good anyway. It was decent.
Yeah, but like
it was good.
But like they've remastered anything, don't they, these days? So Shadow Complex.
Yeah, but the older it is, the more value there is in remaking it. Or
did you see that? Did you see that article about the optimum time to remaster a game? Did you know? Did you hear about this?
No.
If you want to make 2 million plus in sales, the best time to remaster it between this year and this year of how old it is. What would you guess?
Yeah,
I would have said about 12, 13 years, maybe.
I'd say like 5 to 10.
Stu's right. It's between 10 and 20.
Oh,
apparently, if it's older than 20 years,
it's too old.
It's too old, and the audience for it has sort of come and gone. But what's ironic is that no, it's not ironic. Sorry, Duke. I never use that word again because I'm so ashamed of myself. What's I suppose funny about it is that they're almost right because Resident Evil 4 came out last year, the remaster, and that was exactly 20 years old. So it sort of just fits into the.
But it's nostalgia, isn't it? It's nostalgia.
But it's also like the age of like who they are, because if you if it's too soon, then the people reject it. But if it's too old, people are it's too old. Like like they're not interested. So it's weird. Well, apparently this is all data, so I don't. But it could be a lot of.
It's interesting to think about. Anyway, last thing on the Discord, Sarah Lee said, not a question, but an idea for an episode. The three of you build your dream game using inspiration from real games: gameplay, graphics, story, characters, mechanics, length.
That means we'd have to record a bonus episode.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah, I just want to play games.
Yeah, really.
I'll say what I think about.
Thank you, everybody, for all that stuff. Yeah, we appreciate you being.
Well, thank you. Thank you anyway.
Not incommunicado. Yeah. And now it's time for the speak pipe.
It is.
Speak pipe! Speak pipe! It's the way to leave a message.
This is from Saint Diesel. It's a me. Let's hear what he has to say.
Woohoo! Happy Mario Day, veteran gamers. It's a me, Saint Diesel, back again. I had thought of doing this whole speak pipe in a Mario style voice, but then from the way Nintendo have been going lately, you'd probably get sued for millions for emulation of one of their first party properties. So I'm going to bring up a subject that's, I guess, is a little bit selfish because of what's happened. So I'll go into it. This week I got a letter from my internet provider which says that as from the 1st of April this year, I'm going to be paying £4 or just under £4 a month extra. And if I'm honest, the service I'm with at the moment, I already think it's a little bit too high compared to some deals. But I've been having a look around the internet, and there's lots of deals where it's much cheaper. And as of the end of last year, I think it's actually August, I'm not under contract with my current internet provider, so there's no reason I can't change. But my question for you, have you recently changed internet provider for any reason? Are you with an internet provider that you're happy with and you think it's a fairly reasonable price? And do you foresee any problems with me changing internet providers? I just paid about 3 or 4 days ago my monthly fee for my internet provider, so I've still got maybe another 3 and a bit weeks to go before I have to change. So I'd appreciate some advice.
Well, sorry.
Brilliant.
When we were looking at houses, the one of the houses we looked at had satellite internet. Oh, I already told that story. Yeah. But this house, some people may not know if they're new listeners. It looked like we weren't going to have high-speed internet because the internet company was like, no, we don't serve that address. And I'm like, the dude who lived here before us had you as a company. And they're like, he didn't have us. And we're like, yes, he did. And so we had to get the higher ups involved to actually get our good internet. But I would just say it's not just cost that you should think about. It's speed, it's reliability, it's access to customer service when you need it. These things are really important for an internet provider.
Yeah, no, they are.
I think it's like your insurance. You just got to keep swapping it every now and again because, I'm with Virgin now, but I was with Virgin in my old house, and it's like 50 quid less. And it's faster. Oh. So it's like they dick you on your laziness
Oh,
like
yeah,
like
definitely they
insurance,
do.
like all
Oh, for
services.
sure.
When you go onto them, and their sole purpose is for you to forget that you're on them, and
Yeah.
to make it really inconvenient. They made it so difficult for my dad to get out of Virgin, because they had to do this, and then they had to do that, and then they had to send their old box in. They might get fined if they don't send the box in. They sent the wrong box to send the box in. Oh my God, it was just bloody awful.
Yeah,
So,
we had something that, like, when we had our house insurance with Direct Line for years and years and years, right? And I never really checked it. You know, it just auto renewed every year.
yeah.
And we paid monthly, so you don't really notice it. I mean, I never pay monthly now; I just pay it all in one go.
Baller.
But at the time, I used to pay monthly. Didn't really notice. And when I checked, we were paying about 600 quid for our like home and contents insurance,
Jesus
right?
Christ.
And this is going back about 15 years ago. So this isn't like recent. This is like a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I did a quote. I went on, I did whatever it was at the time, Money Saving Supermarkets or whatever it was, you know, on these comparison sites at the time.
Yeah.
And I did it, and the first like quotes that came back were like 89 quid or 110 quid. They were like 400 quid less, 500 quid less. So I phoned them up and I'm like, excuse me, I've just done some quotes and they're like 400 or 500 quid less than like you're charging, and I don't think that's right. And he went, well, that's how much it is, mate. And I said, so can you not?
No interest in keeping you as a customer.
No, I said, can you not match that or anything? And he was like, nah.
I can fuck off.
And that was it. And that was it. So I was like, well, I'll
Wow,
cancel
that's
it then.
crazy.
That's the end of that.
Yeah.
But I think, and then we went through a period where insurance companies were willing to be flexible and try and match better quotes. And now we've come full circle. And like the last time I insured my car, for the first time ever, it was over 400 quid. I'm like,
but car insurance has gone fucking
I'm
nuts.
like, I have never paid over 400 quid. So I went on the comparison site. The cheapest one was like £335 or something like that. So it was cheaper, but it was from some like shit company I'd never heard of. When you go on Trustpilot, they've got like 1.2 stars, right? So I was just like, so I phoned them up though, tried it on.
Be careful though.
So this was the AA, and I phoned them up and I went, I can get a better quote than what you're suggesting. So she went, all right, yeah, who's that with? So I told her, right, they have access to all that shit now. So she's like, oh yeah, I can see the quote you got, right? I can see exactly what you got.
That's crazy.
And then she went through it line by line why their policy was better than the one I was getting and why it was better value for money.
There's no reducing price now. It's like reducing value.
There were nothing. There was nothing. And she was like,
Well,
yeah.
That savings is going to come from somewhere.
Yeah. So she was just like, there's nothing we can do. I can't make it any cheaper. But ultimately, you know, we're
Can't make it any cheaper, so fuck you.
You're getting a better standard
car
of service
insurance
with our policy.
is mental right now. Car insurance is fucking crazy.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
You think it goes down after when you get older and stuff.
Yeah.
At the moment,
Yeah.
it is not going down. It's fucking more
No,
expensive.
Millie was very lucky because her renewal from the one she was with was something like 800 and something pounds or 700 and something, 800 quid. And she's like, oh God, that's high. So she went on the comparison sites, and the best she could get on there with a black box, which she doesn't have currently, so no recorder or anything, was like £1,200. And I'm like, yeah, it's 400 quid cheaper. You just stick with what you've got.
Yeah.
Just stick with the company you've got.
Yeah.
It was just mad. It was literally mad.
Yeah. So keep on top of it, Derek, and
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah,
You got to keep
it's
trying.
Yeah, good luck keeping
Sometimes I check it one year and I'm like, this isn't the year to change it.
Yeah.
And then and then I'll try it next year. I always put it in my
Sometimes
calendar.
you get what you pay for.
I always put it in my calendar as a reminder, though. I always do.
Yeah, there you go. There's your reminder. Right. Is that it? Are we done?
I think so.
I think we're done. So
Let's
shout
get there.
outs.
Shout outs. I'm going to shout out.
It's time for a shout out. Hey!
I'm going to shout out Chinny for being a funny prick slacker. I think that was it, wasn't it?
Something like that, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
So there you go.
Cool. Thank you.
There you go.
I'll shout out.
Jenny?
I'm going to shout out the wife. It's first Mother's Day today.
Woo! Of course, yeah.
Oh, snap.
Did Rosa get her a card? Just checking in some flowers or something nice?
Oh, yeah. Rosa got her a card. And
Nice.
Rosa got her.
That's very sweet of Rosa. Did you
That's
get her
so
something,
sweet.
Chinny?
No, did I fuck?
Or are you a
No,
fucking
it's
slacker?
from
No,
Rosa.
Rosa also got her a jumper that said Super Mommy-O
Nice.
And then a little
like
mushroom
it.
at the bottom that said
Mamio.
Rosa on it.
Nice. Liking it.
So yeah, she got a little Super Mario jumper on.
Nice.
With Rosa's
Nice.
name. So yeah, shout out to Tara and
Yeah, all the
that's-
mums. Shout out to all the mums.
all the mums.
Yeah.
All the mums who listen to this show. There you go.
Yeah. Our Mother's Day's in May, so I'm not shouting.
Oh
at
yeah,
anybody.
shout out to
not many
sorry,
moms.
the chap in the chat that says Chinny games are dead. It's all been done. That's an old friend of mine called Matt Darby, who I used to play. That's why I kept on saying Gears of War, because he said say Gears of War.
Okay.
I used to play Gears of War with him back in the day. I used to work in the same place. Remember, I used to drive a van. He used to drive a van
You
with
did
me.
drive a van.
Yeah, so I haven't seen Matt for a very, very long time. But
There you go.
yeah, some great memories with Matt Darby. There you go.
And Duke.
Yeah, I will shout out Tainted Brain because he. I didn't realize this. I was looking at my blog's all fucked up, and so I started a new blog, and there's a comment that he left in November. I'd had a garbage day, and this is yeah. He said, "A day late. I hope things are somewhat better for you, buddy. You know, just giving me some awesome encouragement." And I didn't see that until today, so thank you, Tainted Brain. That's very
It
kind
was
of you.
Garbage.
It was a garbage day. But yeah, and you know everybody who's been in the chat, SLH and Snowman and Nezzy and Soul Brother #1 and Jason and James Bevan and Ian and all the people who are part of
All
our
the
community,
peeps.
everybody who wrote in, St. Diesel and Jason Gallagher and everybody active on Discord. We love you and thank you for being part of our community.
We do.
And I think
we
that's
do.
all I got to say. We done?
I think we're done.
I think we're done.
Okay. Whoops.
Dundly
All
dun.
right, show's over. No refunds. You heard the robot. Get out.
Why doesn't my life always work out perfectly?
Do you know what's interesting? We've never ever had a copyright thing for the "Why Don't You?" All these
Yeah, I
years.
thought about that. You know what? We got a copyright strike on that.
We did for the woman's song.
So yeah, but I cut the song.
Yeah.
But we got a
But you
strike.
didn't cut her talking.
I got a strike because we still played part of the video because she was talking, and the AI goes, well, that's still another person's video. So
Yeah, it is.
That's crazy.
It wasn't bothered. It wasn't like it. It was just a.
yeah, but we don't monetize it, so it's never really. a problem.
Yeah,
It's never
it
really-
doesn't matter. It doesn't make any odds. It's just like you
But
won't
people
get any
deserve to
money
see what
from
we were
this
doing.
podcast unless you edit it out.
Yeah, so if we get
did it take the video down or is
No,
it
no,
just
no,
the
no.
video?
If you
Oh,
wanted
okay.
the money from the video, you'd
Oh, I
have
don't
to
care about the
edit
money.
out her talking.
yeah.
So wait, that's what happens when we get a strike?
Yeah.
No, well, yes and no.
No, but
There-
like
Duke,
not
no, Duke, stop.
Duke,
Because
not going to.
sometimes it depends on who strikes us.
Yeah, it does.
They
It does.
say take that video
Okay,
down
okay.
because they don't want us talking about pissy shitty
Yeah.
Gotcha.
video, and they, I don't know, like ripping out my
All
intestines
right,
through
well,
my
then
arse.
I won't play this. Okay. Well, we're going to a concert and we're going out for Duchess's
Well,
dinner.
happy
our
birthday to the
dinner.
Duchess.
Happy birthday
Yay,
to the
happy
Duchess.
birthday, Duchess. So I'm gonna bounce. You
All
guys
right.
have a good week.
Okay, same.
See
in a bit.
ya.
See you, bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I've got to go to bed. So, Shinny, I will leave you to it. Have a lovely week. And
And you.
love to Tara as her first Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I will
All right.
speak to you next week.
See you in a
See you
bit.
later.
Bye bye.